Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Matter of Opinion. I'm your boy Walls P, and we got the lovely Tia, aka Miss T Sizzle,
Hey everybody.
and we got our guest June Sage. Now, June, do you want to before we get started, tell everybody your YouTube channel? The man got some great content on there. So, you want to fill everybody in? Hello? June, can you hear? Hello? I don't think he could hear.
Yeah, I don't think he could hear us.
June, can you hear us?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Good.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, you want to give everybody a rundown on your channel?
That's to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I guess
actually
you couldn't hear us at first.
Yeah, it's actually two channels. They're
Okay.
both on the same type of subjects. Well, the one I do with my wife, it's about us working together to get in shape. We have a child. We have certain situations that make it difficult to work out. So we're just showing that when we hold each other down, it's easy as possible and it's fun. So the channel is Better Love and Fitness, and we have one workout on there, but we're adding more. We're just learning certain technical things we need to know. But we're gonna have great workouts for y'all. Promise you.
All right. All right. So today's episode is going to be talking about, things, relationships, you might as well say, things of that nature. All right. So let's get to the crux of things, get the show underway. So those who are here, appreciate you guys supporting. If this is your first time here, definitely hit that subscribe button, like and share, and definitely check out, June's channel. He got some good content on there. The first video that he launched on his channel, that video was amazing. He broke it down, sophisticated, intelligent, talking about, murders and stuff like that people are doing, how they're just doing heinous things to children at that. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we did a little bit of a collaboration where I dropped my thoughts at the end and everything like that. So definitely check out that video. Like the content is great on there. All right. So the first thing we're gonna cover, it's actually something that my good friend Strategic Eyes covered on his live, Strategic Lies After Dark. The link is in the description to his channel, so definitely check out Strategic Eyes. And it was something that he said in his last live that stood out to me. So I'm gonna play it for you guys, and yeah, that's gonna be the subject of the conversation, which is, are women too comfortable? So let me cue this up real quick. All right, here we go. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
I went and took a walk, and I was gone for a couple hours, and
Yep.
Y'all can hear it? Okay.
Yes.
come back and kind of tamp down the anger. The bottom line is that I talked about this in another live a couple lives ago. Our culture and our society has made women too comfortable. Women weren't comfortable in the 1600s. Women weren't comfortable in the 1800s. Women weren't comfortable in the 1900s. Why they weren't comfortable? Because it was dangerous. It was dangerous. In our modern society, women have become comfortable. Thank you for the super chat, Aki. She said, I wish he would have ran after her. I do too. There's a lot of scary dudes out there. There's a lot of dangerous people out there. We should not be allowing our loved ones to go jogging in Central Park at 2 in the morning.
Nah, let me stop it there. But that was pretty much the crux of what he was saying. Like, as far as, are women too comfortable? So I want to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, like, do you feel that nowadays women are too comfortable as far as, in society? Because you see a lot of women, getting kidnapped or getting abused, domestic violence, a lot of cases where women are, getting the brunt of a lot of bad things, whatever, whether it's death or abuse. So I'd
Walls,
like to hear, yeah, I'd like to hear
define comfortable.
define comfortable. All right.
Yeah.
When I say define comfortable, I'm talking about like women have no filter when it comes to speaking to men, so to speak, things like that. Like, for instance, if me and you, right? If me and you, June, we went to the movies, right? And we
Mhm.
saw a group of dudes, like 50, like not say 50, but like 10 dudes there. If something happened, like one of them step on our shoes or something like that, and gets to a back and forth banter, we know at some point we're gonna be like, "Yo, you know what? Let's fall back because they got the numbers, whatever. So cool, they got that." We step off and leave it at that, and try and
Yeah.
de-escalate the situation. Whereas women, it's comfortable now where it's kind of like, not to say they feel entitled, but they have no problem speaking, however, to a man because they feel as though there's going to be no repercussions from how they speak to them, and speak to them like how whatever tone that they want to, like that sense of comfortability. So do you
Mhm.
feel like women are too comfortable?
Tia should start that.
Yeah, I like to hear your Tia.
Okay, it's a lot to unpack there. First of all, when it comes to domestic violence, that's a very sensitive subject. So to just solely say, oh yeah, women are so comfortable, and to throw in domestic violence as an example, you got to watch yourself, because that's a very touchy thing right there.
No, I know it
But
is. I know it is. But what I'm saying is, okay, when I say domestic violence, it's kind of like, if I know if I know people are like, if I know in front of my house, right, they're
mhm.
having a shootout or something like that, I'm not gonna deliberately go outside and be like, yo, since I'm not in this beef, whatever, I'm gonna walk outside and not be in touch, so to speak. So it's kind of like, at what point, even in a domestic violence situation, if the two are getting into a heated altercation and that woman decides to put her hands on the guy and check him, like, come on, you get what I'm saying?
I
That's
hear what
something
you're
that could have
saying.
been avoided.
I hear what you're saying. But in general, I just feel like it's kind of hard to sit there and just say, women are getting too comfortable, when I think, and you may say this is deflecting, but I feel like I could take this in different ways. So, okay, is that when women are getting too comfortable, they're confronting men? And then I've also seen the other one, which is what I got from Strategics Live, about women being too comfortable in terms of safety. Maybe we're letting our guard down a
Mhm.
little bit too much. And I saw a meme the other day, coincidentally, where I saw something where they're like, okay, we're training women, you have to walk with the keys individually in between your fingers. Where we're telling women, hey, you got to carry a taser, you got to carry this and that. But at what point do we start to tell men, okay, you got to keep your hands to yourself? Or, okay,
Wait,
don't
why does that
attack.
matter?
What do you mean? Why does it matter?
Let's say I raised my nephew to understand that.
Hmm.
Why is that? Why does that take precedence over us telling females there are people we will give advice to, they're not going to listen to it?
Mhm.
And for y'all to keep yourself safe,
Okay.
walk this way, because the crazies that fell through the filter, they don't care. They
Exactly.
don't like. Why would that take precedence though to you?
Well, I mean, to me, it does, because I feel like that's the problem. A lot of
Mhm.
times when it comes to, and now you got to come from my jugular, I feel like a lot of times, especially depending on your culture, you grow up with
Okay.
the boys will be boys mentality, and they get passes for that, and they get excuses for that, and we see it many times in the news. For example, I don't remember his name, but I remember it was the Caucasian gentleman at one of those like Ivy League schools, who got drunk, he raped a girl, and he pretty much got off, because it
Yep.
was like, okay, well, boys will be boys, he's in a frat, he had too much to drink. So it's like, it's that mentality that I feel like give men a lot of passes and excuses, as opposed to telling them, now, in terms of domestic violence, yes, you do have some women that do take it a little too far, because they feel like, oh, I'm a woman, I can get in your face, you're not going to hit me. What are you? Now that's completely different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in general. Now, granted, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go out of my house 3 o'clock in the morning or even 10 o'clock at night by myself, no matter what the neighborhood is. But again, at what point are we going to start telling men, okay, we need to be respectful, we need to, keep our hands to ourselves, no means no? Like, what happened to all of those things? Why is the
See,
focus solely just on women?
because you got to look at it like this. It's solely on women because 9 times out of 10 men are stronger than women. You get what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's how it is for your bone structure. You know,
Now,
like
what are you
you get what I'm
in
saying?
are you talking
Me,
about domestic violence? Or are you talking about
no.
in general?
What I'm saying is in general. I'm not talking in domestic violence. So I'm talking in general, whatever.
Okay.
So if put it like this, let's say if I was incarcerated, right,
Mm-hmm.
and I weigh a buck 10, soaking wet, so to speak, and
Mm.
everybody in the prisons is buff, right?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do my best to keep my head down and not, get into altercations with people, so to speak, because I know my size, my weight, everything about me puts me at a disadvantage, so to speak. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying? So, granted, I know there are guards there who are supposed to protect, yada yada, but guards aren't always there. And you got some people who be like, "Yo, man, I don't want to go sit in the hole." But what do you say to the people who don't care? They don't care about the law, whatever the case may be. So what I'm saying is, you less like at the end of the day, crime is going to happen, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's abuse, whatever the case may be. But wouldn't it be better on your end to try and put everything put everything in place to try and lessen it happen to you as much as possible,
But
so to
see,
speak? You get what I'm saying?
the reason
Like,
why I don't agree with that 100%, like, granted, I feel like on both sides, yes, women can be a little more safe, as well as men need to gain some self control. Because, I mean, if you think about it, even over in Italy, I believe it was a couple of years ago, where they had the mentality of, okay, well, if a woman has jeans on, you won't get raped. Or, oh, if you like, it's certain and this is what I'm trying to say. It's a broader picture here. Like, there's so many things in different parts of the world where it's like the onus is always on the woman. Oh, you have to be covered up, you have to be this, you have to carry yourself a certain way. But again, at what point do we say to the men, okay, now you have to control yourself, because of the fact that you are 9 times out of 10 stronger than a woman, in your own
wait,
words.
can I?
I, I go ahead, June.
I'd like to interrupt because it sounds as if you're saying we're not doing that. I was raised
Mhm.
to understand I can't do that. I
Yeah,
can't
but
put
see,
my
that's anecdotal evidence. That's you.
no. I know, but I'm trying to explain to you. I was
Okay.
raised that way. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. I can't say half. I can't say a number, but I'm sure a lot of guys was raised to understand. Do not put your hands on a female. And
Hmm.
I was in a house where the female, she didn't understand she couldn't put her hands on a guy. When she did something and he was going to attack her, I told him to chill. And then she said, "Yeah, you can't hit a girl." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you need to understand you cannot put your hands on a male as well." Like,
Mhm.
yes, you're going to run into guys who may have not been taught that. So it's your life. It's not my life. So for me to go tell the guys, this, yeah, we tell them that, but we have to tell the women to be careful because it's y'all losing your lives. It's really not the guys losing their lives.
Yeah.
So there's some
Yeah.
hiding,
And
acting like they're good guys, and they're not.
that's
No,
the
but I
So
point. That's the
understand. But
point that I was
that's
trying to make when it comes to, like, if I was incarcerated and I'm around these dudes, whatever. Yes, I understand the guards should tell the people not to put their hands on them. Yes, in a perfect world, that's how it should be. But what do you say to the people who just don't care? So
no,
if
but
you
I
got the people
hear.
who don't care, I would put myself in a position to try and lessen that as much as possible. That's what I'm saying.
I hear what
If
you're saying, but to me, even with JR's comment, I feel like that's more so going towards like domestic violence. Like, okay, again, I know that you're a man, you're 10, like you just said, you're 9 out of 10 stronger than me, all these other things. I know my limits. Like, I'll go to the line, but I won't cross the line with you. But I'm talking about in those incidents where, um, women can just be, for example, the thing that happened recently, and I forgot her name. I'm sorry, with the young lady that they were looking for, and come to find out, she died because they believe, I think he was like the maintenance man, had broken into her apartment or something like that, because he committed suicide. So they don't know exactly what happened, but they did find her remains recently. In that instance, like, we don't have to be doing anything. We don't have to put ourselves in harm's way, and it can still come to us. So that's why I'm saying, at what point do we start saying to men, you need to control yourself? No means no. If a woman said, you know what I'm saying? Like, at what point
yeah,
do we
but
start
no,
saying
you
these
have you
things?
let me say,
you
I
do your thing.
understand that aspect of it,
Hmm.
but you're making it seem like you don't have women who give zero F's, and since they have it in their mind, men aren't supposed to hit women. They go out talking reckless and doing whatever because they feel like there's no repercussions.
But
Yes.
you're missing my point. I'm not talking about domestic violence. We established
We're
that. I
not
just
talking
said
about
That's
that.
not
domestic
that's
violence.
not
I'm talking
domestic.
No,
about
but when
this
you
is what I'm
say,
talking about. I'm talking about say you go to a club or something, right? And a dude try to step to you. The woman is laughing at him like, "Get your ugly, whatever, stupid self out of here. Talk whatever crazy." You don't know if that person has a mental health issue or whatever. Now, dude want to stalk you, whatever, because he felt like you belittled him in front of everybody in the club. So now he want to stalk you the whole nine. Wait for the perfect time for retaliation. That's not domestic violence.
okay, well, let me not say domestic violence. I'm talking about in terms of a woman coming to a man. That's why I said I'll come up to the line. I'm not going to cross it. I get it in that aspect. So I'm not going to say domestic
I
violence. It's
I
pretty
understand
much
that, but
just listen. It's
okay.
pertaining to what you and JR just said. I got that point. But what I'm trying to say to you is take yourself out of that example. Okay. I'm not calling it domestic violence. But I'm talking about in those instances where women, let's say, for example, she didn't have a negative interaction with that man. And just the fact that, he tried to talk to her. And let's just say she said, I have a boyfriend. Or let's just say that she said, you know what, I'm not interested, whatever, no matter how polite or even how rude. That still does not give him the right to want to then stalk her at the end of the night and then do harm to her because she embarrassed him or because she rejected him or
But Tia,
like, mhm.
would you admit something's wrong with that person's brain who feels like, because I was insulted, I need to stalk her, make her my prey, and kill her? Isn't something wrong with him?
Absolutely. But again,
So
it
what
starts
is
from,
it?
like I just said,
What can
it
we do
starts,
though? But what
again,
can we do?
it
Sorry.
Because
starts, I'm trying to
go
finish.
on, go on.
It starts from the beginning. Like you can't say just because you both were raised in a way where, okay, yes, maybe because of your culture or maybe because of, your parents, whatever the case may be, you
Okay.
were told this is how it's supposed to be. I got that. But what I'm trying to say to you is everyone does not have that same mentality or upbringing. So when you still have people, like I said, who have the mentality of like, I'm not just picking this out the sky. Like I have there was a women's group that we used to do before the pandemic at my job. And we used to talk to students from different cultures. They were African, Jamaican, all of this other stuff. And when we were having a conversation, right, about how much culture plays in terms of like men and women's responsibilities and our upbringing, all that other stuff, they
Mhm.
all had the same response. And that was yes, boys were treated differently. Boys were able to get away with certain things. Boys were able, it's just, so that's why I'm saying it's
But
all
Tia, by
about.
who? By who? Because from my experience, and this is not to put certain people down, from my experience, it seems as if the guys in my life I see, it's by women. It seems like women are allowed, like mothers or aunties are allowing them to get away with certain things and treating their daughters different. And that's a major problem. You can't go to the problem and say, you should know you're a problem. No, it's who is causing that problem, who is creating that problem. And
But
I
that's what I'm
see,
saying. It's the upbringing. Like I'm not saying
yes.
either side. I'm not saying all I'm saying is
Hmm.
the onus is on the man and it's going back
Facts.
to their upbringing. Now, whether it's grandma, it's mom, it's whatever, yes, we can debate that all day. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying is, at what point do we put that onus on the man to say, okay, like let's stop giving him a pass and say, okay, well, you know what? Well, because yeah, he's crazy. You should have known better. You should have just
See,
gave him a like. To
we
me, that's
having
how it comes
we
off.
having two different conversations because we all know the onus is on the man. We got that established.
Okay,
But
well,
what
say
I'm
that.
saying is, what can women do to actually lessen that blow? Because it's coming off as women are comfortable to speak to men however they choose to. So
Yeah, but what I'm
we
saying
but
is that's
listen,
not
listen,
always
listen,
the
listen, listen,
case.
listen, listen, listen. I let you speak and I did not interrupt.
Yes, you did,
What
and I
I'm
had
what
to
I'm
tell you.
saying, what I'm saying is we understand that the onus is on the man or whatever, right?
Okay.
But what do we say to the women who actually go out their way to be disrespectful to dudes, whatever, because they feel there's no repercussion? What do you say to the woman who be like, yo, I don't care. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go out and do whatever it is that I want to do, or whatever this, that, and the third. So that's what I'm saying. We understand that the onus is on the man, but what I'm saying is, are women too comfortable with the way things are now, which is putting themselves more in harm's way. Because when you look back, like Cezek said, back in the 1600s, 1800s, even early 1990s, whatever, women were more cautious as far as going out late, not traveling in groups and everything like that, not willing to really go home with a stranger as much. You
Mm.
get what I'm saying?
Really?
So
Because hitchhiking was actually very popular back in the day,
it
as
might it might
opposed to now.
it might have been popular, yes, but we're talking in the 90s, like people weren't really like women weren't doing a lot of the stuff how they are free willy-nilly now and think there's no repercussions.
Okay, but let me
Just
just
just in
ask
my
you this
opinion.
question. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure you've heard of the saying, just because a woman walks down the street naked doesn't give a guy the right to take it. So you mean to tell me that if a woman, let's just say
That's a
she's, what were you gonna say, JR?
no. I'm not going to interrupt
No,
you.
no, go ahead. I don't want you to lose
No,
your
no, go
thought.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear your
Please,
thought.
please.
So what I was gonna say was, so if a woman does decide to leave out, let's say she decides to jog outside at 10 o'clock at night, or she decides to, she's coming home from the club and she had to park her car far away at 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever the case may be. You mean to tell me because she chose to be out there by herself that late at night, it's okay and excusable if a man robbed her or if he
I'm not saying
attacked
it's
her?
okay and
Mm.
excusable. What I'm gonna say is she should have known better. It's just like if I know in my block they're dealing drugs and there's shootouts and stuff like that, and the block is hot if you go out after 10 o'clock or whatever, and then
Staying in.
1 o'clock I decide to go out and go chill or whatever, and I get shot or whatever. Yes, it's bad, but it's like, dude, you knew what it was. Why would you even go out there at one something in the morning if it wasn't an emergency?
I mean, I hear what you, JR, what did you have to say? I don't want to keep
Now,
going.
somebody actually got on me with that same example, and it was on a long time ago on an Instagram comment.
Okay.
She was calling me a misogynistic pig because what I said was, it just yeah, if a woman does that, it doesn't make sense because there are guys who will, regardless of their upbringing, I don't know, they just seem like they're messed up. We guys know of people who are just sick in the head.
Yeah.
So we know they exist, and you're gonna walk naked. We're not saying it's good. We're saying you're asking for something. I'm not gonna leave my door wide open and I have $1 million on the floor. If someone walks in and steal it, that's my fault. It's not
Yeah.
saying they're right. It's just that's my fault. I'm asking for that. I am. Why am I
Now,
doing that?
before we go on, I just want to shout people out. We got Nene in the building. We got Erica Pierre in the building. We got Black Sheepdog. What up, Black Sheepdog? We got Corey Ryans in the building. Who else we got? We
Hey,
got Kiki,
Corey.
Kiki of '05. What's up, Kiki? And let me see. All right. And that's all I see. I don't know if it say more people's in there, but nope, they didn't talk, so I can't really shout them out because I don't see that they're in there. So anybody who else is in here that I miss, what's up? We appreciate you joining us on this Saturday night on this live and yeah, this debate that we're having on certain topics or whatever. But yeah, so what do you say to the point that JR said?
I completely understand what you're saying. Like I said, I'm not saying I would purposely put myself in harm's way. But at the same time, I do kind of feel like, I mean, we are in a time and place where, yes, I'm not going to be stupid and say, yes, I'm going to walk out, I'm going to jog at 10 o'clock at night or even 2 o'clock in the morning or all of those other things. But at the same time, I do kind of feel like this isn't back in the olden days. I don't understand why women can't do those things. And I don't know, maybe people going to say I sound like a feminist. We should be able to do whatever a man does.
Can't do
But
what
at
things?
this, like if you wanted to leave out the house at 10 o'clock at night, no one's going to think to say to you, oh, hey, put in the keys in between your individual fingers. Or I remember I had a dean at my old university who made a comment to me, because I always travel by myself, out of state, all of that stuff. Is it recommended? No. And I know you're probably going to get on me, but I do it. And I remember he made a comment to me like, oh, you should be careful, but mace is illegal. Depending on where you go, you should carry wasp spray. And I'm like, but as a woman, though, why is it that we have to have that conversation? If this was a man that said that, nobody would have even batted an eye. They would have been like, all right, dude, have fun, bring me back something. But it's like,
It's
why
because
are
we know
we?
that. Guys, we were raised to understand that. And I experienced that with my wife where we may be in like a room, she'll gravitate towards the center. And with me, I'd rather be closer to exits. I'd rather know who's behind me. With her, she feels
Mm,
comfortable because she wasn't raised to know that. So we have to tell women that. We can't just assume she's gonna know it. No, we run into women that just don't get it. I told an ex, do not, because she allowed me to come to her house late at night, like 3, 4, and she said she didn't text anyone. Nobody knows. And I'm like, she was my girlfriend at the time. I'm like, don't do that. I'm like, do not put yourself in that situation, because we may not always be dating, and you may have a guy do that who's a sicko who's thinking I'm going to rape her and then I'm going to kill her. And it's like, some females don't understand. Y'all are delicate. Y'all walking around with what every man wants. Think about that.
Yeah. And that's what we're trying to basically like bring attention on. You get what I'm saying? Because it's
Yeah.
like men view women as being delicate, and on the other hand, women are like, yo, don't treat me like I'm, delicate. Treat me, I want the same, the same, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to be treated the same on equal footing, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, yo, that's why guys have that way of thinking when it comes to women. It's like, yo, we want y'all to, make sure you're aware to protect yourself, stay alert at
Yes.
all times. And it's not saying it in a form of being a double standard. It's just we want to look out for y'all.
Well,
So
I always got playing out a double
yeah,
standard.
but not because
They're
a
good.
lot of people will look at it and be like, yo, y'all not putting onus on the men. No, I said it. We know men are sickos and will do stupid things, whatever. But it's just more so, how about we try and tell women certain things they could do to try and lessen the blow? Because at the end of the day, r- people are gonna go out their way to rape women. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
by all means necessary. You get, crime is going
No,
to
I
happen.
definitely
You get what I'm
understand.
saying?
And I think the other thing is too, like the thing that we fail to mention is, even with social media, they say a lot of things to make women feel very comfortable, to feel like, oh, okay, like I said, the whole thing of, oh, I could walk down the street naked, a guy doesn't have the right to take it. Yeah, a lot of them take that literally. Like, look at Amber Rose's slut walk, or look at, you know what I mean? It's like they're not as demure as they used to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not
Yeah.
that old, but I know back in my day, it was like, you wouldn't dare call yourself certain terms, because it's like, yo, that's derogatory. But now they take it as a term of endearment. Like, oh, okay, this is what it is, and I'm going to wear it proudly. And I think it's also giving women that false sense of security. Like, oh, okay, well, I could do this, and I could wear what I want, and I can go, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, you're absolutely right. We still have to be careful, and we still have to be safe, because like you said, yeah, you guys may be gentlemen, but who's to say that, the other people across the street
Mhm.
are? So
And
I definitely get it.
this is one thing too. Dave Chappelle has said it best. Whatever. Like, I understand women can go out dressed however they want, but it doesn't mean they want that attention or whatever. All right,
Mhm.
cool. So if you got mugged, right?
Yeah.
Somebody stole your bag, ran, whatever, punched you in the face and ran, and you like, oh my god, I need help, and you see me walking by with a cop suit on. What are you gonna do? You're gonna run up to me, oh my god, officer, I just got robbed, whatever. Oh, just because I'm dressed like a cop doesn't make me a cop.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I get
yo,
it now.
but you sure, like, okay, you're not easy or a fast ass, but you sure
Dig
wearing a
it.
fast ass uniform. You get what I'm saying? So, yo, you gotta understand the dynamics
Good.
of it or whatever. All right. So let's go into the comment section. All right. They've cracked me up with this comment. Strategic was lucky. I missed that late night live. All right, let me see. We got Corey Ryans. He meant women fell to equal on many different levels. Oh, he meant women feel too equal on many different levels.
On too many different levels.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what I was saying. Anybody got a rebuttal to that, or?
To your mic.
I mean, I guess if it was a feminist on here, she probably would say, "Oh, we are equal.
Yeah.
We should have the same rights." I'm not a feminist by any means. You can open my door. You can do all of those things. I'm not a feminist by a long shot. But
But
no, I
I
definitely
will
understand.
I will say though, yeah, but women do want to be equal on pretty much equal footing on all levels, just about.
You think they want
That's
to be
something they have
equal?
the rights to. Yeah, like women want to be equal to
They seem like they
on
want to
all
be
levels.
above. They want to be higher than equal. To be honest, Tia, you tell me if that's
Really?
a lie.
What
Yeah,
do you
it
mean we
seemed like
want to be higher than
because
equal?
women feel they have the right to say what they want, but you can't. Like, and that's just a little example. Women feel they can do what you can't
So
because
another
you've been doing your kind have been getting away with it for so long. So it's our time, and it's like I wasn't alive that long. So
put it
all
put it
I
like this.
didn't.
Put it like this. It's
Uh-huh.
rude to ask a woman her age. It's rude to ask her weight. But meanwhile, you could ask a dude his age, what's his weight, in the whole nine.
Who cares about his feelings?
I mean, but see,
Uh, uh,
men.
uh.
No, because I'm trying to think before I say this. I've never been any situation that I've been in, where I had met someone or someone trying to date me, whatever. It's like those are questions that just slip off the tongue to them. I have
That
yet to be. Let me finish. I have yet to be in a situation, or even when I talk to my friends, where the first were like, "Oh, how old are you?" Or how, like, we don't say those things. So I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, maybe I'm thinking of my circle, so it's anecdotal evidence, but that's not the first thing we really say, because a lot of times we assume a man's age by how he looks or how he dresses.
okay, but that term had to come from somewhere. And
About
you
like how much you
and
weigh and all this other
so
stuff.
so what you're telling me is you never heard that term. They're saying it's rude to ask a woman her age and her weight.
No, I didn't say that term. What I'm saying
Okay.
is, because you just JR said it's okay though for a woman to ask a man. And what I'm saying is I have yet to hear or be in a situation or wherever where a woman has said it first. It's always been a man that has asked the. Now granted, maybe he does that for legal reasons to make sure that he's not gonna get in trouble and ask her age. But yeah, that's not really a common thing for women to ask a man.
Yeah, but age age, okay, that can be a topic where people ask, but the thing is, a man, it's in the man's right to ask how old a woman is or whatever. Especially in today's time, you better
Fact.
ask how old a woman is. That should be the first question that you should be asking, how old a woman is. So let's get that out the way right there.
Yeah,
But
just
As
it's
make
far
always
sure.
been like,
as far
No
as the
R.
weight,
Kelly situation.
as far as the weight goes, a lot of men don't even think to ask women their weight because they
no.
know women find it insulting.
Yeah, but what woman asks a man that though? Because like we're talking about being equal, or we're trying to be above men, but we can act. I have yet to hear or see a woman ask a man, "Oh, how much do you weigh?" or "How much."
They're
So
not.
that's
They're not, because if they see the dude is overweight, they're just gonna label him fat as hell. So what you need to ask, what's the weight for?
But Tia, we
dude,
shouldn't
dude,
even. You go, Will.
go on, Jr. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say we shouldn't really harp on the weight. It's more because it's not just the weight. You can't say certain things without getting canceled by women on like nowadays. Why? Because you can't say you look this way or I feel this way. You're gonna get canceled. But
not
she can.
necessarily.
I'm yeah, but there's exceptions. But most of the time it seems as if we cannot say anything. We got to walk on eggshells because if we say the wrong thing, she's gonna jump down our throat because of how she's feeling. And I don't know. I just don't agree with that. I find y'all trying to be above us, not equal to us, because I do think y'all equal. I see how y'all equal. Where we lack, y'all cover it. Where y'all lack, we cover it. But y'all just talk as if y'all are superior to us. And that's what it seems like, this new generation of women. And I'm saying it from personal, like my siblings. They have that same mindset where they think they're above men and they think they know men. Like they won't even give you a chance to explain yourself because they already know the intent behind what you did, what you thought. And it's like, can a guy explain to you why we made like white women, why we made masks? No, they will give you the reason, even though they're not men. It's like, come on, are you superior? Are you God? That's what it seemed like with women. They think they're God, from
I
my
don't think
perspective.
so. I definitely don't think so, because I feel like women get talked about all of the time. Like for example, when Martin Lawrence had gained weight, like yeah, people had the memes and they made fun of him, whatever, and it, you know what I'm saying. But it was like my point is they get on men just as much as they get on women. So that's why I don't understand when you're like, oh yeah, men will get canceled if you say something. No, I've seen many
Not men,
instances.
people. Even Monique, they jumped on Monique for saying, women, y'all need to level up. And what happened? They jumped down her throat. So the question was, women, if women can't correct y'all, who can? The answer
So that
seems like
put
no
so
one.
that so that
Yeah,
put so that put them at a status where they're above all. Because if nobody can check you, that means that you're pretty much a god complex. I get where he's coming from
yeah,
with it.
but let's be more specific, because it seems like you're talking about a certain demographic of women. You're not talking
I'm just
about
saying
all
because I have
women.
sisters. I'm saying I have sisters. So since I have sisters and I'm married to that kind, that's what I
Okay.
know. I don't know the other ones like that. Yeah, I dated a white girl, so I know. So, but I could only speak for my people, and I'm just saying that's what I experienced from my siblings, my family, my aunties, my cousins, the females. Period. It's to the point where is it like that? Is it a Haitian woman thing? Is it a black thing? Is it like a woman? What is it? Because it seemed like all of that is in one. That's what it seemed like from my personal experience. Not talking about the world, just my personal experience.
I understand. I definitely feel like women can take more accountability. And I think that that's probably the thing that we're missing. Like one of my
Good.
friends, he's married. He had put in some video, I think it was from TikTok, that this woman had put up. And she's like, okay, ladies, let me get this straight. So you want your man to not have female friends, anyone from his past, he pretty much has to cancel. But when it comes to you, if he dare says, oh, who was that male? Or no, I don't want you to have male friends or something. It's like, oh my God, he's abusive. And, he's keeping you from your friends and this and that. And it's like, okay, when are we going to take accountability? Because it sounds silly. So I definitely agree with you. It's accountability. I'm not being in denial. I'm admitting
No, I get it. I
it.
get it. I get it.
So
All
yeah, we
right.
definitely can do better.
Yeah.
Does Italy even have domestic violence as a crime? That
Oh
I don't
wow.
know. I couldn't tell you. Let me see what other comments is there. Go through here. Okay. So Erica Pierre said, I get what you are saying, but in general, people will be like, hey, women should not go out late at night by themselves. But what happens when the same thing happened to them in broad daylight? Yeah, nobody's arguing that. Like I said, dudes are gonna be sickos and crazy and no matter what. Cause you see a lot of crimes of people like went like these guys snatching up girls and everything in broad daylight. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
you're
and
gonna have
that's
those sickos. Like
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
that's what I'm saying. We should say that more about the men. Like instead of having, no offense to strategic, don't tell them I'm talking about them. But instead of saying, are women too comfortable? How about the topic be, men, have we reverted back to the caveman times? Or men, when will we get it together? Or when will we start honoring our, like why can't that be the
It's
topic?
because it's not good men that are doing that. So they would have always been there. Those type of men in every century, generation, whatever, they will exist. So we cannot do anything for them. Like their parents
But
should
you
have
can
raised them
still
right.
say it. You can still
But
say it
what will
we
though.
that
always
get?
say that. We always say,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
we always
who's
say that.
we? Who's we? Because
Men
Yo,
in general.
every
we get on our friend. I know
Yo,
guys, we
put it
get on
like
one
this.
another.
Put it like this. I don't see cases where you hear a guy raped a girl or something or kidnapped a girl, and guys are like, "Well, yeah, she had it coming to her. She should have did." No, people ostracize the guy and be like, "Yo, this guy's a scumbag. He's a piece of crap."
Yeah, but not necessarily because look at the video that you did of the video. I
Okay,
don't know if she was a video vixen or whatever. What's her name? Mercedes Moore,
okay.
I believe it was when the issue had, when the incident happened with her. Everybody on social media just flocked to, oh, she must have led him on. Oh yeah, well we know how she got her money. Or we know, so that's false. I'm sorry.
No,
Like we see it.
people
Mhm.
people were when people are saying that, they're saying that was the cause and effect of the situation, but they're not saying, "Oh, the guy is not to blame." You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
well, what I seen in the comments was a lot different from what you're saying. So
But there's
maybe we were
trolls.
looking at the wrong.
And you're
That's
going by
true.
you're going by on trolls. People, yo, look at the stuff Vic and Black Sheepdog will say in the comment section. Like so, they'll say certain things and you be like, wait, what? Wait, I gotta catch myself.
No, I hear what
But
you're
you get what I'm
saying,
saying?
but you're
But
like, okay, well, yeah, it's obvious, no, but it's not obvious. It needs to be more apparent that yes, these men are dogs, they're this, they're that. Like, for example, like regardless of personal feelings, right? When you
mhm.
look at the R. Kelly case, a lot of women, even after he was found guilty, they're still saying, oh well, I don't believe it's true. You had his fans out there still playing his music, like, oh yeah, he's gonna
Well,
get in the
here's the
P.
thing. Here's the thing with the R. Kelly case that I will say.
Hmm.
People are not realizing that he was found guilty on sex trafficking. It wasn't on what like the case of if he was sleeping with minors or not, so
Yeah,
to
but
speak,
let me
whatever.
just let me just
But
say
let
this.
me let me let me let me finish. Let me
Okay.
finish. So if we go into public eye, whatever, like if we go into street court, of course everybody's gonna be like, yo, this guy was a piece of crap, whatever, and he was sleeping with underage women or whatever.
Hmm.
But if we go by the legal system proceeding, the man was found innocent of it. Because to be honest with you, even though he got knocked for the sex trafficking, I believe they made him guilty based off his him sleeping with little girls. It's like You got by back in 2010, so now we're gonna make this stick on you, so to speak. Because what I didn't even follow the case like that, but was it grown women that he was supposed to be sex trafficking and stuff like that?
I believe so.
It was grown women or whatever,
I
right?
believe
So
so.
so now when you have a dude like Hugh Hefner who has Playboy bunnies, whatever, that's a
Yeah.
form of sex trafficking. You get what I'm saying? So what do we do? What are we talking about here? They basically pinned it on him from his transgressions in the past or whatever. So people who say, "Yo, I believe he was innocent," so to speak, if they're talking by the court of law that he was proven innocent, can you be mad at them?
They're wilding also though.
Huh?
Yeah,
Cause
that's true
I
too.
watched that video when I was a kid. But you go.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is, I'm saying yes, the man did whatever, but if we're going
You're
by
right.
the court system, he was exonerated. You get
I
what I'm
hear what you're
saying?
saying, but like I said, without going into the ins and outs or whatever, I'm just speaking in general.
Mhm.
And with a lot of cases that come up like that, you hear a lot of people put the onus on the woman. Oh, they should know better. Oh, well, they knew what it was when they went there. They did. But again, nobody was putting the onus on the man. So
But how
I
do you
hear
do
what.
that? How do
What do
you
you
Yeah.
how do
mean?
you identify which guy is hiding behind their rapist? Or I don't know if I could say that. How do you know who's a creep and who's not? So how do you just say, you know what, he's this way, let me talk to him? How do you do that with a woman dressed in a certain way? I can identify she's going to get herself in trouble, but I can't just see a guy because he said, oh man, I'd like to be with her. Okay, you know what, he's this type of blah blah blah. How do you know which guys like that for you to really say anything? How do you know that?
I hear what you're saying, but I just still feel like the same way it's advertised for women, it should be
But how?
advertised. I mean, it could be with anything. Like I always see, like I know from my personal opinion or whatever, I always see videos, workshops, whatever, for women where it's like, hey women, this is how you can gain your femininity back, and this is how. Okay, but who's telling men or showing videos for men on how to combat toxic masculinity or how to even gain their masculinity? Like who? Like I see so much on women and what we need to do, what we should be doing, and how we can avoid this, but I rarely see the stuff for the men.
But it's because you're
So
not
You
looking
don't,
for
yeah,
those.
you know
no, I
what? No,
am.
no, no, no,
No, I
no, no.
am.
Men will sit down and talk to men like it's hotcakes. If you have a boy that's doing wrong, you will
Yes.
sit that dude down and be like, "Yo, what you doing, yo? Let's get together, whatever, yo. Come move in with me. Stay with me
Nah,
for
see,
a
we're
while,
like
whatever." You
that.
get what I'm saying?
We're
That's
like
how
that.
we do. Just because you don't
You're
see it,
like that.
just because you don't see it
No,
in the
guys are
public
like that.
eye, I'm telling you, guys are like that, yo. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Okay.
you don't see it, just because
Well,
you don't
all
see it
I'm
out in
saying
the open.
is working at multiple institutions, okay,
okay.
I have seen, I've heard, and when I say heard, I don't mean through the grapevine. I mean being in judicial cases, having to do different things, especially when I worked in residence life. And the just, I'll say 99% of the conversations. Now, granted, now maybe you could break it down and say, well, it depends on your age group or it depends on your culture. But a lot of those males went along with different things. They did not tell their friend, oh no, man, you shouldn't be doing this, or oh man, you did that. No, come stay with me. No. It was they either went along with it or they knew what was going on and they stayed silent. So I hear what you're saying, but like I said, based on the things that I've seen, that's not the case.
But you're dealing with the worst of the worst. Like I was doing reports on people
Not
who killed kids,
necessarily. Okay.
and it was a lot of mothers killing kids. Where if I just looked at it, I'd say, "Dag, mothers, there's a problem with mothers." I would think that because it's like, "Dag, they're putting people in people's lives that are dangerous. They're
Hmm.
getting overwhelmed because of their mental health." They say, and then they kill this kid. I could just look at mothers as they're bad people, but that's because I was digging into that. So that's why it appeared that way. So I don't believe I don't have friends who would know someone's doing wrong, like a friend, and allow it. That person is also a dirtbag.
See,
For
here's
you
the
to
thing.
know that, that's
Here's the thing. This is what I like run into most of the times or whatever, right?
ooh,
JR, if I know you had a chick or whatever, right? And like you dogged her or whatever, I'm be like, yo, man, you dogged her out, son. You messed up with a good chick or whatever. Women, when it comes to situations like that, and they did a dude
they were
wrong, oh
validated.
yeah, that dude must have did something, whatever. He
Nah.
See,
pushed you to do.
that's not
He put
true.
No, it's not.
okay.
What?
No, it's
Okay.
not. Now,
All
granted,
right.
again, it could be anecdotal evidence,
Okay.
but I am
Okay.
telling you from
Hmm.
experience. Like I can even in my own personal life, like I've had times where I have vented to my friends, maybe with the exception of one, but she ain't happy in her relationship. But I there are many times when I have vented to certain friends, and I know one in particular. I don't know if she's watching. Shout out to Ayana. And when I've had conversations with her, instead of it being a "yeah, girl, you're right, you could do so much better," than no, it was like, "All right, Tia, I know you. What did you say? All right, come on, because this is a good man here. Like, what did you do? Like I have those friends that check me.
How
So
many of
maybe
Okay.
how
So
many of
so
those
so
do you
so
have?
okay. So what we're gonna say is,
okay,
from your experience,
hmm
you say that most people, most women are like that. That's what you're saying.
yes, I am, and I stand by it.
Most women are like that.
Yes.
Wow,
So
Zeus.
then, if that's the case, why 90% of women, when it comes to a breakup, they're never at fault? They always say they're not. They're never. They're not at fault.
Okay, well, see, now you got to break it down. Where are you getting this evidence from? You making a
Women,
general statement?
yeah, I would say. Well, in my opinion, I'll say my opinion. My
Okay.
opinion, when it comes to a breakup, I've know women that personally cheated and broke up a happy home and put the blame on the other person, and
I
they
think
basically say, "Yo, I'm not at fault." Whatever. You get what I'm saying?
no, I definitely understand what you're saying. They definitely need accountability. I think the problem is, again, a lot of women don't have accountability. I have a friend who not in that situation, but she's one of those people where every relationship it didn't work out. The guy ended up cheating or just starting a whole new relationship, and it was always woe is me. And I did have to finally tell her because that's the other thing. A lot of women don't have those friends who are going to be honest with them. And I did have a conversation with her, and I said, okay, at what point, though, do you sit back? Now, I'm not saying the cheating was her fault, but to an extent, and I know people will come from my jugular with this. When you have a pattern of things that happen in your relationship, at some point you have to look at yourself and say, okay, what am I doing or not doing that's causing this? Or what am I doing or not doing that I constantly overlook this? Or, something. And I feel like that's the other thing. So not only do they need to take accountability, they need to have those people who are going to be, their accountability partners and who are going to check them. But again, I'm not saying that's all women, but I have that one friend. In a lot of instances, that's not always the case with women. I mean, I hear what you're saying with your example, and like I said, the one that I gave, but no, women do take accountability for the things that they have done. They may not say it, they
I
may
don't
not
think
tell you
I
guys.
don't think so, man, because nowadays you can't check women on nothing. Anytime you
Uh-uh.
say something negative about a woman, everybody will gain up on you and tackle you, just like how JR made the example with Monique. And there's a comment that I'm gonna get to on the bottom about the Monique where somebody said, you know, Monique was a big girl and she lost the weight. She was like a hero to the big girls, and now she's not. So it's like they got a thing against her. So basically, just because she lost the weight, now when she give a voice, you're just gonna basically cancel her because you don't agree with her and attack her.
I don't think it's just because she lost the weight. I think it's just because, in general, and again, I know I'm going to get hit for this one. I feel like women need to take accountability, and that's something that they don't want. So with Monique, it wasn't that, oh, she's no longer a big girl, we can't listen to her. It was the fact that a lot of women like to be comfortable.
Okay.
So they want to walk around with those bonnets. They want to walk around, as I say, looking like a ragamuffin and don't want anyone to say anything to them. And if you do, they want to
You
check
hear
you.
that?
But Tia, do you not hear yourself? You're
What?
basically saying women don't want to take accountability,
I
but
said
then
that.
turn around and saying they do take accountability if they mess up in a relationship or things like that. So which is it? Do they not do they take
No,
accountability or
it
they don't
depends
take
on what
account?
it is. It depends on what it is because
So
a
we
lot
picking and
of
choosing where to take accountability. That's what we're saying.
I mean, if it comes off that way, then I guess it does. But what I'm saying
All right.
is an example that you gave when it came to a relationship or the demise of a relationship or messing up a good man, whatever. I have seen in my instances where women have taken accountability. In terms of appearance, I feel like women should take accountability in that aspect, but a lot of them don't. And that probably will go back to, maybe, if we have time, something you'll bring up later. But a lot of women do like to be comfortable in terms of their appearance. I'm not talking about relationships. So You could get on me and say I'm eating my words if you want to, but what I'm saying is, in terms of accountability, when it comes to the relationship stuff like that, yes, we do take accountability. But again, in terms of appearance, every woman doesn't want to walk out the house looking like a 10. So yeah, in that instance, you do have women that differ with their opinions in that one.
Tia, that's fine.
Uh,
What she's saying is fair. Is just with relationships.
Yeah.
I've never been in a relationship with someone who took accountability for, like, what they tried to do was hold me to what the next guy did. And
Hmm.
I could have been coming into it 100%. I'm with this person, but they're not taking accountability, that they're closed off. They don't really want to share certain things. They're trying to paint themselves in a certain picture. That's tough for us. And I
Yeah.
see that it messes up a lot of relationships, but y'all don't own that. Y'all just say, well, you got to understand, I can't just put my walls down because I was hurt. Okay, that's not my problem. Like Wall said in the video, people don't care about the story. We're here, we want to start fresh, but because you was hurt by another douchebag and you're holding me to that guy, you need to hold accountability that you're messing this up right now, because I want to give you my heart, but obviously you're holding yours while you're asking for mine.
Hmm.
That, to me, that's ridiculous
yeah.
that
I
women do that.
definitely understand. And that's why, unfortunately, and I'm going to say it again. Yes, we do need to take, in that case, accountability. But I also feel as though that's why, you meant to be patient with us, just like we are with you. Because if you think about it, I mean, it may be the same difference, but it's like you guys require us to be patient as well. It may not be in the same aspect, but trust me, we are. So I hear what you're saying, and no, you shouldn't let the next man pay for the last man's mistakes. But at the same time, why not be patient and help her work through those things, or encourage her to go to therapy, or something like that? Why does it just have to be an automatic, oh, okay, you're not healed, I'm moving on to the next person? Like, because trust me, we're patient with you men too. May not be in the same way.
Yeah, that's very true, but we know when it comes to the black community, getting
Oh, you want to
therapy and
take it
stuff.
there?
No, no, I'm that. Jr. said it. We can only speak on what we know. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But we like most of us here, when it comes to dating or whoever
Yeah,
it was black, your history is dating a black person and stuff, right?
yeah.
Exactly. So we know in the black community when it comes to therapy, that's like kryptonite to black folks, unfortunately.
Sabo.
I
You get
mean, I
what I'm saying?
understand
So
that, but if you are encouraging that person, like, it's one thing if you just tell a person, "Oh, you need to go to therapy," but I mean, are you actually, like, I have a friend who had some, has some issues or whatever in terms of like almost like borderline body dysmorphia, and her guy pretty much was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna go to this counselor or whatever," and come to find out it was for her specifically so she could talk to this person. Now, I'm not saying you have to start deceiving people in order to get the counseling and therapy that they need, but it just shows you the extent that he was willing to go to help her work through her issues so that they can have a healthy relationship. So what I'm saying is, if you do have, like you said, in our community, yes, counseling, therapy, psychologists, yes, it's taboo. However, what are you trying to do to encourage that person to get the help that they need?
that's a
I mean,
fair point.
I've
What
done
was you
that,
about to say?
and I've done that, what you're saying, and it reaped
Hmm.
nothing. Where the person, people take offense to something like that. Like, you know what, you should probably go to therapy, because people don't like hearing that. So let's say that is brought up and they're not doing it. Because I was told by a woman, women believe what they want to believe. If a woman want to believe it, she's going to believe it. It doesn't matter what you say to her, she's going to believe it. So if a woman doesn't believe what you're saying and you're trying to work things out, how do you even jump over that wall she built?
It
Patience, because
depends. Be specific. What do you mean?
I don't get specific to what.
Because you just said like she wants to believe what she wants to believe. So you're talking about in terms of her needing therapy?
Yeah, like let's say therapy, everything, but where you talking
Okay.
about therapy now? Let's say she doesn't believe she need therapy, because I don't think any woman really feel like it seemed like women don't think they need therapy, and it's like, what do we do if the person didn't want therapy and we're just dating them and we think they need this for us to make the next move and they're refusing?
Well, what
What do we?
about
Uh-huh.
if you're receptive to it? Why not suggest couples counseling? So that way you both are there. It's not like you're just putting it on her like, yeah, you're crazy. You need to go see a counselor. What if you did it where it was couples therapy? Or what if you sat her down and said, you know what? I love you. I want to be with you long term. But In order for us to even consider the next level, whatever that may be, I
Mhm.
need us both, or I need you to work on whatever these issues are, or I need you to, because a lot of times, men don't say it like that.
Men
Um,
men don't say it like that a lot. Men don't really say it like that a lot of times or whatever. And we
Hmm.
all know when it comes to communication, whatever, men like we're
Yeah, it
more
sucks.
straightforward and blunt, like, but we're more straightforward and blunt with
Not
it.
all the time.
You don't think men are straight up blunt
No,
as far as what they're saying?
no.
most of the times we are not
Most of the
Yeah,
every.
when it comes
not
to
every time, not every man.
when it comes to trying to get, get that thing, yeah, they may be indirect, but as far as everything else, men are pretty much blunt,
Yeah,
straightforward.
I
I
hear
would agree.
you, but I feel like a lot of times men are not blunt and straightforward, not unless you ask them. Or if
But
you
then
don't ask them, like, it could be something that you do that bothers them, and
put
you
it
can
like
even ask them, well, why didn't you tell me that when I do this you didn't like? Oh, well, I only brought it up because you pointed out something about me, or oh, I only brought it, like, I have yet to hear
nah,
any man
I
just
can understand
randomly.
I can understand in early stages where the two are filling out each other because women will
No,
do the same thing. Something will annoy the woman, but they'll just deal with it because, oh, he's cute, whatever, yada yada. We just so that's like that happens in the early stages, so to speak, or whatever. But men have no problem telling women what they like and they don't like. They'll tell them straight up, yo, I don't like XYZ, whatever. And the woman will turn around and be like, nah, you just saying that. You don't really, that's
Yeah,
not how you really
word.
feel. You get what like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we try and
Facts.
tell you what it is that we want and what we like, and you try and tell us, no, that's not what we like.
I
This what you
don't know.
need.
I'm never.
This is what you need.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's the types of women that you've encountered, but I know, like myself, and especially with my friends, it's like because we really want to be with that man, and and in general, if a woman really wants to be with that man, she wants to marry him, she wants long term, whatever. If you tell her that, yeah, this is what it is, or this is what I like, absolutely, she's going to do those things.
Wait, Tia.
So,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but when we say certain things, how we were raised,
yeah,
we do acknowledge that there are creeps out there that are completely different. When you say that's how you are and this and that, you must acknowledge that there are females. We run
Yeah,
into more
shoot.
female.
And that's a good point you was gonna
yeah,
say, JR, because
yeah.
men have no problem acknowledging other men are like this.
Okay.
Women have a big problem with acknowledging other women. So that
Well,
right
no, I
there,
admitted that. I said that our women need to take accountability. So I definitely acknowledge that.
I understand you said women need to take more accountability. That's a broad statement. We was just talking about specific
Yeah, I
situations,
said
and you're like,
specific situations.
J-
Like, for
JR,
example,
and your this last 5 minutes conversation that we just had, did you hear any accountability from her on women's side?
Not real accountability. Like,
What?
no offense. Like you may
Yo,
throw it out there, like they are like,
yeah,
but it's in passing.
exactly.
okay.
And that's the thing that men come off. It's like, yo, women don't want to take accountability because women are quick to defend other women.
Yeah, because they think you're
Men,
talking about them. And that's what
yeah,
I noticed with my own sisters. They hear it as if you're attacking them,
yeah,
and you're
and
not
that's
even talking about them. Just because
yeah.
you fit in there, I'm not talking about you.
So you mean to tell me this entire time since we started the live, I never said women need to take accountability, or some women in that instance need to take. I never said that.
You may have said it, but then everything was negated when you said the next thing you said. As far as women are just
What?
amazing, and the guys need to. It is like, okay, yeah.
No, I said not every man. I didn't say all
No, no,
men.
no. I know.
See, y'all
Dang.
ain't gonna be coming for me
I'm telling you,
today.
yo,
Like,
the comment section is going at it. So the comment section will say, I
Oh,
saw comments saying, yo, I got Tia's making an argument for the men now with what she just said and stuff like that. So I don't
man,
where's
know.
that at?
listen.
I don't know.
I
But
said what
okay,
I said.
we'll get to it. Okay. So Vic said, what
Okay.
you tell a woman with two black eyes? And I guess that goes into the point of saying, hey, women should try and lessen the what's the word I'm looking for? Try and lessen interaction as far as like being disrespectful to men, whatever, and stuff like that. So he's saying, what do you tell a woman that has two black eyes? How does she go about, protecting herself, so to speak, against a man? That's what I'm assuming that comment is saying. Anybody want to tackle that one or
Um, with
Oh
two black
wow.
eyes, I know I
Yeah, what do you
wouldn't.
say to a woman like so say we're saying like, okay, say we're saying, okay, you shouldn't go out late or whatever, something like that. But in
Mhm.
broad daylight, this woman wind up getting two black eyes. So it's like, what do you say to her?
I mean, only thing I could say is there's creeps in our group,
Yeah.
but I can't go tell a guy like, you know what, we need to be. That's not going to help her. She has two black eyes. I just need to let her know there are creeps out here. You need to protect yourself. You need to have
Hmm.
mace. You need to have the keys in between your fingers. You
Yep.
need to make sure your headphones are not on. You need to look around. I could
The
just
mo
tell her. You go.
the most I can do is like just be like, yo, man, hopefully there was video cameras or something. We could find the perp, you know, call the police or whatever, something like that or whatever. But yeah, we're not taking away the fact that guys are creep and you got some guys, a lot of guys who feel entitled that, yo, like I'm privileged, like not privileged, but I'm entitled to this.
Hmm.
If I see a woman, I should be able to do whatever I want to her. Like especially like a lot of island men, they have it in their mind
Oh
that
yes.
yo, women that's like if my woman, that's my property.
Hmm.
Whoever I'm with, that's my property. You can't back talk, you can't say nothing, stuff like that. So you
Hmm.
do have men who have that God complex. You get what I'm saying? And no matter what you do,
Absolutely.
like you say, you could go out in Muslim robes and the whole nine, and people still find a way to be like, yeah, that eyelash looks sexy right there. I'm a
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they'll find whatever crazy, whatever crazy fetish, whatever, to make that move to try and attack that woman, unfortunately. So
No, you're
yeah, like
absolutely right.
some people are just psycho like that. Let me see. Buy a gun. Oh, okay. Buy a gun. Learn how to use it, Angel King. Let me see what other comments we got
I told my
there.
wife that too, but get a
Yeah, do you
gun.
think?
Okay, so you
Oh,
said I've
Vic.
been
Okay,
moonwalking all
so
night.
so Vic said, do y'all think sometimes a woman deserves to get smacked up? No joke, no joke question.
Desires.
Yo, oh, you said what?
The
Desires,
yeah, woman.
desires to get smacked up. Oh, do you think a woman desires to get smacked up? I think when it comes to in the bedroom, some women
Yeah,
have a fetish for stuff like that, but that's specifically in the bedroom, I think.
Yeah.
And you do get some women who like they get off on arguing. You get what I'm saying? Now, there's a like they said, there's a fetish in no matter what category. So you may get some women who do like to be smacked or whatever, just like you may get some men who like to be smacked. You get some again who you got some, I said again, you got some men who like they want they nuts smashed and that's the way they get off. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
you got people who have crazy fetishes, unfortunately. So, can
Yeah.
I say no? There's not any women that desire to get smacked. I can't say no because there's probably a handful that they like that stuff. But in general, should a woman get smacked up? No,
Nah,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree
none of
with
us
that.
And
do.
let me
None of
just
us do.
Yeah.
say, for someone says I start backtracking, and no, a woman shouldn't get in a man's face either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand that 100%.
Yeah,
Just
like
like
you
just like
definitely
dudes,
shouldn't.
you shouldn't get in a woman face either. Because if that woman feel you invading her space and turn around and smack the hell out of you, hey, you shouldn't have been invading her space. You shouldn't have been all you get what I'm saying? Like be respectful. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, be respectful.
Yeah.
Let me see what other ones we got. Trying to see. I'm trying to see. Yes,
I just got
because
to shout
all
out
them big
Kiki. She
girls.
been on my
Oh.
side all night. Hey, Kiki.
That's what the Facebook user said. Yes, because she was all about big girls and then she lost mad weight to be helped. She lost mad weight to be helped. She was a lot of big girls' heroes. That was the Monique comment that I saw that I
No, I
was talking
definitely
about.
agree. Like
Yeah.
even with Lizzo, like Lizzo, as much as she literally shows her behind, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of women were all for it. And then I think one day she made a post on her social media about like trying these vegan options or something like that.
Yeah.
And people came for her. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're trying to change. You're trying to lose. You know, all of this stuff." And I'm like, "Man,
Wow.
she just wants to be healthy."
All
Misery
right.
loves company.
So Vic said, Wally, that ninja was sleeping with little girls. I know I'm not saying he wasn't, but all I'm saying is you got some people who go by the public eye, like the courts, and they're like, yo, the man was found innocent. Just like a lot of people, most people will say, yo, OJ killed his wife.
Yeah.
But if you go by the courts, the man was innocent.
Yeah.
But then we turn around and be like, yo, Bill Cosby was innocent, but yet he wasn't date raping women.
Mm-hmm.
So certain scenarios, you're gonna get the crowd that be like, yo, this is wrong. And you're gonna get certain scenarios where the crowd is like, yo, this is right, so to speak.
Yeah.
True.
So that's how it goes. So you can't fault people who be like, yo, he was innocent because this is what the court records say.
Yep.
So it's not a fact of defending him. No, I believe he was 100%. The man literally was found innocent, came out of court and bagged a 15-year-old chick. Like, come on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in
That's
the document, whatever, like bagged the 15. So yeah, but people who say it, I believe they're delusional, but you got some people who just go by the court system.
All right, so wait,
You feel me?
I just wanted to say a comment that my friend had just sent me. He said this conversation is frustrating me. I had to log off. Today's topic is totally one-sided. Chivalry is only as dead as we try to keep it. This is a very chauvinistic question, and the response is truly his opinion. So, aside from Kiki, I got my friend too that's on my side. So thank you. But
I,
Women are normally on women's side. That's how it normally works. Whether you're
yeah.
wrong or right, they will be on your side.
no,
Hey,
That is how it worked, though.
but
I
that
can
is a man that sent me that. That wasn't another woman.
A man,
Yes, it
yeah.
was.
I
Yes, it
can
was a
understand
man that sent me that.
I can understand where he's coming from, but for me, my whole thing was, as far as are women too comfortable, was basically to come up with, not come up, but have dialogue on what can women do to actually lessen the blow, like not lessen the blow, but like lessen the chances. You get what I'm saying? Because I look at it like this. I made this analogy. If you got people outside who are hustling and selling drugs and they occasionally get into situations where they get into shootouts or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
And me, I'm a law-abiding citizen who basically go to work every single day and do what I got to do. I'm not partaking in what they're doing. But at the end of the day, I still can be a subject to what they're doing.
No, I
Now,
definitely
now,
agree
if
with
I
you.
stop and talk to them and hang out with them, even though I'm not selling drugs, I'm still doing certain things that can get me caught up in XYZ. So regardless if I'm caught up with them or not, it's a still possibility that I can be in a crossfire. But if I'm stopping and
Yeah.
mingling with them, whatever, I just increased my chances.
No,
yeah,
I
that's fair.
You
definitely
get what I'm saying?
understand.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to come at. So I respect what where he's coming from, whatever. But that was the dynamic I wanted to come with it.
But
And
Tia,
no, Tony, he is not a simp. Thank
but Tia,
you.
you should ask him. Text him to give his opinion because it's
Yeah,
easy to
he
just
could
say it's
call.
one sided.
Yeah, he could call in and give his opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
but
because I'm gonna
if
post the link.
if Tia is sticking up for one side, it can't be one sided because
No, but
you.
I'm not sticking up for one side. What I'm saying is, and before someone says I'm moonwalking, let me just say I'm not that person. But
Hmm.
for the women out there who do feel like, yes, I can dress how I want to, I can go out whenever I want to, however I want to, all this other stuff. I do feel, in a sense, I understand where they're coming from because no, this isn't the 1800s. You should be able to, I'm not going to say do the same things as men, but I also feel like we should have more accountability on these men and telling them, and maybe this, again, the onus goes back on the woman because it starts from when these kids are infants, or not infants, but the moment they start to have interactions with people of the opposite sex, telling them, okay, if a girl tells you no, you have to listen. Okay, you
That's
don't
from
hit
birth,
girls.
though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So maybe again, it goes back to women because even with things like, think about it. How many times have you heard, because I know I've heard this growing up, oh, if the boy hit you or he pushed you or whatever, oh, that means he likes you. Oh, that means it, like you hear that all the time. And that's why I'm saying we need to start putting that onus back on those males to let them know. Okay, but again, like you said, probably goes back to the women because we're the ones raising them. But I just feel like it needs to be that constant communication and letting them know these behaviors are not okay and will not be accepted.
Wait, Tia, I have to jump in because what you're talking about, my wife and
Yeah.
my son grabbed her hair and he's 7 months. He's grabbing her hair and she's being, mother nice and all loving and like, come on. And I'm like, no, he has to understand he cannot just grab a woman's
Exactly.
hair.
And that's what
Hmm.
I'm saying. It has to start early. But when you have those sayings of, oh, yeah, if he hit you, that must mean he likes you. Oh, boys will be boys. And oh, yeah. So
I
what are
hate
you
those
doing?
sayings.
Exactly, but people hear it, and what does that do? That further perpetuates the stereotype that it's okay for these males to go around and do this when they're in middle school, high school. Okay, now what happens when they're in college? They're grown men. Like, we have to nip that in the bud somewhere. But on the flip side, and no, I'm not moonwalking, I'm just seeing both sides.
Mhm.
On the flip side, we also have to understand as women that no, we cannot operate the same way that you do. And like I said, go jogging 10 o'clock at night, or walk from home from this, parking deck 3 blocks away, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, we do have to be precautious if we have to. Flashlights, mace, wasp spray, whatever it is, because I do know at the end of the day, yes, there are, perps out here. And unfortunately, it's the men that are trying to hurt me. It's not other women. So
No,
I do understand both sides.
and I agree with everything that you're saying 100%. But what I'm saying is, if push come to shove, the man the man is the one with pretty much the power in most cases, because
Mm-hmm.
the man is stronger or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And we understand that, but what I'm trying to say is, if you have a sicko who has no reasoning whatsoever, he's going to do whatever it is that he's going to do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And depending on how a woman is dressing, not to say like a woman could be fully dressed or whatever the case may be,
And still,
yes, he can still find her a target. But like looking at it realistically, who do you think a person who's a predator would likely go after? A girl that's dressed fully clothed, or a girl that's dressed, half naked, so to speak? Who do you think in his mind would tell him she wants it?
Yeah, the one that's half naked.
That's what I'm saying. So we're not taking away the fact that men needs to be checked. We know that men need to be checked, but it's about lessening your percentage of actually be being picked as a target.
No, I
That's
agree
the
with you.
conversation that's basically what I'm getting at. So it's not saying, yo, women, you shouldn't be embrace how you want to dress and everything like that or whatever. No, not at all. Women should be able to be free to wear whatever it is that they want to wear and everything like that. But I'm like, at the same time, you do have some sickos who they'll see that and think, oh, that's an invitation. Like, I remember when I was working with this dude or whatever, right? And we driving in the city, and a girl literally was walking down the street and like flapped her hair back or something. This dude literally was like, oh, she flapped her hair back, that means she horny. I'm like looking at her like, wait, what?
Wow.
You have people that
that's
think
oh
crazy things like that. You get
yeah.
what I'm saying? So if it's just something as simple as that, you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
I hear what you're saying,
it's
but
some sick.
I hear what you're saying.
But like I said, that's the only thing I'm saying. Like, what could we do to lessen the ratio, so to speak? You ain't gonna eliminate it 100%. Not at all. We don't live in a perfect world.
Hmm. Well, like I said, I saw both sides and I gave my suggestions for both.
No,
In
I
case I
see
need,
both
I am
sides
not
too.
moonwalking. I said what I said and I'm not taking it back. Thank you.
Let me see. What does this say? Black sheepdog. Matter within there are guys that have been raised by women, and later on in life they might have hate for women because of traumatic childhood experiences. Just another thought. That is true.
That's true.
That is true. That is true. That can play a role or whatever in the way men think of everything like that.
Now, Tia,
But
I would think that goes back to there are a lot of single parent homes with just the woman in the house. So with
Absolutely.
that, yeah, the guys get the blame. We understand you're absent, but some people are absent for certain reasons where they shouldn't be blamed. So I just want to let you know we're not blame. I'm not blaming
What do
the
you
women
mean
at
that
all.
they're absent for
I'm saying
reasons
God,
you?
there could be any. I can understand that I cannot
Mm-hmm.
be with that woman just because of the way she is. I don't have the patience. So for the betterment of our child, we'll co-parent separately. So I'm saying that way.
Okay.
But if the guy decides I'm not going to parent because I can't, it's his fault. It's his fault, but it's also her fault too. Because like, why are you picking at him just to prove your point? Like you're making it just worse. And so I think parents, period, have the problem,
me
not the
personally,
kid.
when it comes to parenting, yo, I think the two people should put their pride aside and do what's best for
Yes,
the child. Like, that's
always,
the end of the story. There's no,
always,
Absolutely.
hey, I'm in my feelings or whatever the case may be. No. You do, the
always.
minute y'all decided to bring this child into the world and said,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna go with this process, you became secondary.
No,
Facts.
I definitely agree
You
with
feel
you.
me?
And once again, and no, I'm not moonwalking. I am playing devil's advocate. I can see both sides, because not see both sides, but I hear both sides. Like, you do have some men who are like, well, if I can't have her, I don't want my family. And then on the other end, you do have some men who want to be in the child's life, and the woman is almost punishing him. Like, no, because you're not with me, you can't be in the kid's life. So I have seen and I've heard both sides, and it's disgusting.
I
It
can
is.
agree. I can agree. All right. So let's move on to the second topic of the day. Wow, that was we really was on that first
Yes.
topic of the day. All right. So that comes from, let me
Kiki, you
post that
wildin'.
up. All right, let me put up this source right here, and it comes from somebody's Instagram page, which Chrome tab.
Come on, DJ, push play.
Yeah, it comes from Ricky Smiley officials page on
Hmm.
Instagram. Things men find attractive but won't tell women.
Unattractive.
Yeah, unattractive. Sorry.
I want to put my
Things women
glasses.
find unattractive. Things that men find unattractive but won't tell women.
Mm.
You want to start with that one, JR?
Yeah, it's not too much because I've
Yeah,
I've told women if I have an issue, I will tell them. Like, let's even to
yeah,
the point I've told someone in the past where it's it just smelled weird down there, and I told her. So there are things I will always let a female know. But one thing I probably wouldn't tell is maybe it's not unattractive. I know this is a double standard for a woman to go a day without showering. To me, it's an issue because I may, and I know this sounds terrible, I'm still saying it. I know I may want to just get freaky, and if you decide not to take a shower that day or do something disgusting like I would do, it can be a turnoff for me. And the fact that I know I have no right because I do it, I could go a day where it's like just working and shower means nothing at the moment. I didn't sweat, I'm good.
yeah,
So I don't want a woman who's like me in that sense. And it feels stupid. So I'm like, you know what? I'd rather not say it because
Mm.
who am I to, but I would still say it. I would
yeah.
still, but that's the
See,
only thing I can think of.
I know it's different from guy to guy, whatever, but I think for me, it's confidence. You get what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like, you're not comfortable in your own skin, so to speak. To me,
Mm.
that is a big turn off, whatever. Like, let's just say for the sake of argument, like if you have some weight on you or whatever, right? And you're shy or not shy, but like you're insecure about your look, whatever. And remind you, we're already well established in the whole nine. I love you for you, so to speak, but you're still insecure about it, whatever. To me, that's the biggest turnoff, especially if you then go and complain about it, but you're doing nothing about it to change it. Like, you're not looking into do any dieting, you're not looking into hitting the gym, working out or nothing like that. To
Mhm.
me, that is the biggest turn off. That is the biggest turn off. And I that's not something you really want to say because you don't really want to hurt her feelings, whatever. You could make her like you go give make her go more in a fallen state, whatever, so to speak. And a lot you either gonna do two things. You're either gonna do something about it or you're gonna be like, yo, you know what? F it. You gotta love me for me, whatever the case may be. And you might even go, like, she might even go put on more weight, so to speak, whatever. So people react to
Mm.
things differently. You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that is very unattractive
wait,
to
two
not be
questions with that.
comfortable. Yeah.
You wouldn't tell somebody that?
I would have to find a way to say it. Like, I would be on some, hey, let's go to the gym together.
Okay, and that was
I wanna try this new diet out, let's see if we could do it for 'em. You get what I'm saying? Like, little tactics
mhm.
like that or whatever.
That
But,
was my
Mhm.
second question though.
I'm not gonna blatantly just be like, "Yo, you getting fat, yo, you need to."
But wait, Walls,
You get what I'm
where do we
saying?
hold the responsibility though? Because what you saying, if we're well established, um, where do we feel like that we're not helping her become better with her confidence? There's something we may be doing subliminally where
Yep.
we may, she caught on to it, we didn't, and she feels less secure in herself now.
Well,
Like, uh-huh.
for me personally, I'd be like, "Yo, let it ride." Like, walk around naked, whatever the case may be. Like, I put it in the forefront, like, yo, I appreciate you for you. You look good. Like, yo, what are you worried about? You get what I'm saying? Like, I will say those, I will let her know them things where it's like, yo, be comfortable, be confident in your own skin.
But
You
if
get what I'm
words of
saying?
affirmation isn't something that drives that person, it could, it can't be us who like not going deeper because just saying it doesn't help. I noticed. Like they tell me jump in the water because I don't know how to swim. I hear you, but that
Mhm.
means nothing to me. I get it. I'll
No,
probably learn how to swim, and it won't do nothing for me.
no, I get it, but like I said, most people don't know how much of a detrimental it might
Oh
be to
yeah,
that woman. So that's why I think
I
people
dig
have
it.
a cause to pause of just being blatant like that for something like that. You get what I'm saying? Just like how
Dig
you was like, yo, you would blatantly like you said you would blatantly tell a woman down there don't smell right, whatever,
Not
right?
blatantly, I would definitely tell it because I feel like I'm in that situation to let her know that because maybe she does not know.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like any wrong I notice or negative, I have to tell you because I will
Okay.
take offense if you're not telling me. I have a bug on my face. My lips, my lips look crazy. My forehead, and they talking about it. I'll take offense if you're not letting me know certain things make me look crazy. It's like that's your job, like to let
Yeah.
me know.
You ever been hanging out with somebody for like all day and then somebody walk up to you, yo, you got something right here.
I
You
hate
look at the
that.
person like, yo, what the hell was you doing all day? Like, seriously?
Right?
You let me walk around like this? So I get what
Yes.
you're saying. I get what you're saying, but yeah, man, it's certain, and I know that's a detriment to me, but it's certain things I don't feel comfortable. Like
I
if
dig it.
she don't smell good down there, I'm just like, I might say things like, yo, man, let's go in the shower together or something like that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm real big on like actually hurting somebody's feelings like that. Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I don't know how it would affect that person. You get what I'm saying? Me, I have crocodile skin, so it's like, yo, you can say whatever it is to me, and it is what it is. I may spaz out a little bit, or be in my feelings, or whatever the case may be, but I can use that as a tool to level up. I'm not gonna fall in a sunken state. I'm not gonna be like, well, okay, you call me fat as hell. Well, guess what? I'm about to go eat 20 Twinkies,
Yeah.
and we'll see who's a fat. You get what I'm saying? Stuff
No,
like that.
not fat as hell. But if you were like, yo, babe, I see you gaining weight, but what's wrong? That's the truth. Like when I say, it smells blah 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 down there. She told me it hurt her, but she appreciated it.
No, I
And
get that.
we were not teenagers, but I was close to a teen. I think I was 19 years old. So we were young and she still appreciated it. If I didn't tell her that because I'm afraid she's going to be hurt, I am not helping her. And the thing is, I shouldn't even be in that person's life if I'm not helping them. Like that's my job is to help you with certain
That's
things, let you
true.
know. So I don't get that. People are scared to tell women certain things because of their feelings. Like your feelings are going to have to take a back seat to the truth.
That
And
yeah, that is true. That is true. I don't know, man. It's just yeah,
I
I'm just
dig
a
what you say.
softy
It's
like that. You
hard.
get what I'm saying? Vic's comment, tell her that it's thing. He seemed like the type he'll put his finger and be like, smell that here. That's you right there. See? that
Oh
that's how
man.
he come
That's
off as or whatever. But yeah,
wild,
man.
Vic.
I mean, that's something eventually like if it got to the point like obsessive to the point where it's like, yo, this is something we need to talk about, then yeah, I'm gonna but if it's like a one-off, it ain't right down there, something like that. I'm like, all right, maybe it was just a one-off, whatever. I don't know. Maybe she went to the gym, or maybe a yeast infection, like Black Sheepdog said.
Uh-huh.
Something
I
like that or
consider
whatever. But if it's something where it's like, okay, this is becoming a repeated pattern, it's
every
like,
time.
okay, we gotta talk about this now. You get what I'm saying? But if it's a one-off, I'm just yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
one off definitely. I wouldn't say
yeah,
anything, but all the time is I'm researching. All right, track stars, not track stars, track people that run track. Do they have? And it's like, yeah, they do smell. And I'm like, I was researching, and I'm like, yo, I
yeah,
gotta say
yeah.
something. So
Yeah. All right. So Tia, what's your take? If you have something unattractive, would you want the man to tell you if
no,
they find something
Absolutely.
attractive?
Wait, did you
Unattractive, I
say
mean.
no? Absolutely, because at the end of the day, if we're in a relationship, like the thing is, not only do I want to keep your attention, but hopefully, this is long term. So I definitely want to know what is it that I do or don't do that you don't like, so that way I don't keep
That's
doing it.
fair.
Like if I'm cooking something and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm putting my foot in this, like he's gonna love this, and you're going home and you're like, yo, my stomach is churning, or no, I really don't like this, but I ate.
Mhm.
No, I want you to tell me so I can improve, or I can stop making a dish. um Same thing, like for example, I remember I had tried on these lashes and I was so proud of myself because it took me like a whole hour, and I sent him the picture and he's like, no, take it off, no, I don't like it. And it's like, okay, like I want you to tell me, because I don't want to sit here thinking, I'm looking to bomb and you're like, oh my god, I cannot stand these snuffleupagus lashes.
Okay. Here's a thing though. All right. Because I understand like not telling somebody that something they do, something about them is unattractive, so to speak.
Yeah.
But what happens if that thing that you find unattractive, whatever, makes that person like more or less of them, so to speak?
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So say for instance, like your significant other, right? Say for instance, they like to I don't know, I'm gonna just throw something out there. Say for instance, they like to give reinsurance to that dude about, hey, I'm always there for you, I love you, whatever the case may be, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that dude is a person who don't need reassurance.
Mm.
How do you tell that person, yo, I don't need it, if like that's just how that person is? Like that's just in their DNA. They're a person that's always looking out for somebody,
Yeah.
I don't
like
think you
checking
should
on
tell them that.
well-being. I understand. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point do you
Okay, I
not
dig
tell
it.
somebody that's not something they do that's unattractive because you feel it might change the
Dag,
person,
but it's
whatever?
unattractive though, just to give you assurance.
No, but what I'm
It'd be
saying
Jeez.
is, it's
annoying.
put it like this. It's like, if I hate repeating myself and I hate other people repeating themselves to me, but that person love repeating themselves and that's just something in their
Mm.
DNA. And it's like, hey, I'm not repeating myself because it is. I'm just, checking whatever. It's like, at what point do you tell that person, yo, that's annoying? Do it make that person kind of like shut down and be like, dag, this person don't like this about me, don't like, you get what I'm saying? How
I
does it
mean,
affect that person?
I think it's definitely different when it's something outside of yourself.
Hmm.
Like like I said with the lashes example, or the cooking, or like you
Yeah,
said, the odor, like that's something you can control,
yeah,
But if it's something like, okay,
internal.
yeah, something that's internal, something that's innate,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where, and it always brings me back to when you're in a relationship with someone, it's two different people coming together as one,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and nobody is perfect. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, they may do this, and okay, yeah, it may be annoying, or yeah, you may find it unattractive, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure you do something as well
Oh
that they
yeah,
probably deem the same way,
definitely.
and they may not even tell you, because like you said, it's innate, like that's you, that's something you don't change.
Uh,
So mhm.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. No, go.
No, you go
I
ahead
was
before you
listening.
finish it. No,
No,
but
I
I'm
was
just
listening.
saying, like, if it's something that's, innate, is one of those things where you have to take the good with the bad. Because, like I said, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, some things do so. I guess my question is, should some things go? What's the word I'm looking for? Should some things go on like that are unattractive? Should some things like not be told or not be said just
Overlooked?
because it might affect like that person like in a negative way, so to speak, which can in turn affect the relationship, so to speak?
Yes.
Because like you said, if it's something that's innate in them, sometimes that could make a person shut down, so to speak.
Yes.
I
especially
definitely agree with
especially
you.
for a guy, like guys, because like, yo, we're crabs, man. We're hard on the outside but soft as hell on the inside, yo.
Very
let
yep.
let 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 a chick say something about a dude that's sexually related. Oh man, that can take a toll on a dude mentally. You get
Again.
what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, let's just say for the instance, the dude is a 1 minute man or something like that. And it's like, yo, I need more. And that dude know, like, yo, I'm a 1 minute man, whatever, this, that, and the third. If we're talking for all his life, the brother was a 1 minute man. That
Excuse me.
that will take a toll on the dude, like, dag, man, like, yo, I'm not good enough for her, whatever, or whatever
Mm.
the case may be. You get what I'm saying? So it can make that person start thinking like he's less than.
But
So
she
it's
got to
like,
tell him something though,
yeah,
because
of course, you got to tell them something. But I mean, there's steps that they could probably take whatever to work on it, but it can set that person down, a
But
wrong
see,
path. It Go on.
no, go ahead.
Nah, go on.
I was also gonna.
What I was gonna say is just like if you have a woman who is like, yo, you don't slob down there properly or whatever. Get that you to get what I'm saying? That woman might take offense and be like, well, dag, whatever. I'm here. I am trying my hardest, whatever. Blase blah, and it's not good enough for you. Well, go find somebody else who'll do it properly. You get what I'm saying? Like it can bring unnecessary drama sometimes. Like, how do y'all feel about that?
I agree with you, but I also feel like it's not what you say; it's how you say it.
That's true.
So even if you don't want to say, "Hey, you don't slob down here long enough," maybe it's something like, you can ease into, foreplay, or maybe you can bring toys into it, or maybe
Nah,
you
I'm talking
can
about
role
I'm
play.
talking about you be like, yo, babe, you not doing it long enough. Just last week, this hooker that I paid, she was on it for like a good hour. No jaws locking, nothing. What's up? Like,
Really?
nah, I'm joking, but yeah, but nah, you're
Uh,
absolutely right. The delivery yeah.
Absolutely. And like I said, and again, it goes back to if this is someone you see long term with, or even if it's just right now with, I mean, you got to work with them. Nobody is perfect. So if you know that this person, like if you know this man's other qualities are at a 10, and that's the one thing. I mean, it also depends on like everybody's tolerance level is different.
Hmm.
So maybe for some people, okay, sex isn't a priority, but they like, having it. Okay, so let's try other things. Or okay, maybe when it comes to this, okay, I know afterwards I gotta get the toy. Or maybe, like whatever it is, everybody's tolerance is different. But if it's something you feel like you can't tolerate long term, don't waste the person's time.
Yo, you know what though? June, I guess I'll ask you whatever. Like, do you agree? Some men might feel like, yo, you bringing in a toy, that might even exacerbate the situation.
it would. I
Yeah,
You
but
think
get
it
what
he
I'm
would.
doesn't
saying?
have to know. That's why you go into the bathroom
No, no.
afterwards or wait till he's sleeping. Come on
And if
now.
See,
that if he finds out, that's
yes,
gonna be even worse.
it's gonna
It's
crush a
gonna
guy.
that's gonna be even worse if he finds that toy in the house. Yo,
It'll
yo,
crush
it's
you.
gonna
It'll
yeah,
crush me.
yeah. Telling you, like
Wow.
it'll be if y'all have that discussion, whatever. So it's like, yo, let's find some organic methods that now if you have the conversation with him, that's one thing. But if you do it behind his back, oh man. And then if y'all having sex less and less, oh man, he's gonna
Yeah.
put two and two together in his head, like, okay, I see what
See,
it is. And at that point, it's like, yo, I'm out. Like that can push that dude to be like, yo, I'm out.
it could.
But there are things you can do subtly. Like I remember
No,
this
no, I get it.
episode.
I'm just saying, don't go that route without
Yeah,
having that conversation. That's what
there's
I'm saying.
relationship
So people
suicide.
watching, don't go that route without actually having that conversation because that's bad. That's bad, especially if the person is not like confident within themselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad. That's bad.
No, I
But
definitely
go on,
agree with
yeah,
you. No, I definitely agree with you. But I feel like there are things that you can do to, again, like I said, it's not what you say, it's
yeah.
how you say it.
And this is one thing too, man. When it comes to emotions, women are way better than men at handling things that are emotionally driven.
I agree.
You get what I'm
Example.
saying? Yeah, like a woman could withstand a guy cheating more like or not more times than a man withstanding a woman cheating.
I agree. Then
I remember this dude I was working with, right? This dude was cheating on his wife left to right, just like cheating. And he was like, yo, if I ever catch her cheating, I'm out. I'm like,
is that crazy?
wait a minute. All the stuff you're doing, nah, that's different. I'm like, how is that different? Nah, you gotta understand, man. Like, yo, my Johnson go in there, or whatever. I'm like, okay, but your Johnson is going to, and yeah, men on and I think it's more so emotional. It's more emotional that she actually stepped out on me. I'm not good enough, yada yada, stuff like that. Like emotionally, that's why I said men are weak as hell emotionally, like straight up.
I agree with you.
We come off like our
1000%.
exterior is tough, but when we alone by ourselves behind closed doors, it's a
But
whole
you know
different
what,
ball
Walls?
game, man.
What I'll say is because women, we allow I know I allow the women I'm with to know everything about me, to know my insecurities, my
Yeah,
weaknesses.
yeah,
So what happened is when you share all of that and they're playing a role where you're great, you're this, you're that, and then it's used, all your weaknesses are used against you. Now you're second guessing everything that was said to you, and now you're just feeling beneath pathetic because she just pulled that
yeah,
on you. She was saying you was this and that, and now
yes,
she said this. I
yes,
cannot accept it anymore. So it
yes,
hurt.
yes.
With us, we're honest. So y'all hear our honesty. But
It,
for us to
it,
say y'all amazing and then all of a sudden, yeah, but you know, blah 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 is better than you. You're
you
gonna
know what
carry
it
that.
does?
Yeah.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. You said you're
No, no,
gonna
no, I'm
carry
done.
that.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no.
okay. No, I was gonna. All I was gonna say was like while you were talking, all I was gonna say was it makes to the man you think everything was a facade.
Yes.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? That's
Everything.
what it makes everything. That's what it makes. It makes you think everything was a fairy tale, so to
And
Yeah,
that's
speak.
what
but that's
cheating
the
is for
problem.
y'all.
And that's what the problem is in terms of communication and everything.
Hmm.
Because, like, for a woman, we could take it as, all right, we're just telling you how we feel. And again, we see long term with you, but telling you how we feel so we can be better for the future. But sometimes you men take it like, oh, she's complaining. Nothing is ever good
You
enough.
you
And
know why
she
though?
wants more.
You know why? Because men, we're raised when somebody comes to us with a problem,
Solve it.
we automatically have the mentality of solving it.
Yeah, but we
We don't
tell
know how to.
you
No,
what the is. Hmm.
no, I know that, but like I don't know, man. Like you know how you'll go through times where it's like, yo, you just want the person to listen. Men have an automatic pattern of when we hear something, okay, our automatic reaction is, what can I do to fix this?
Yes.
That's like automatic. What can I do to fix this problem? Now, we may have like blowback where we're going back and forth, but at the end of the day, in our mind, it's what can I do to fix this? Because I'm pretty sure you had a situation where you might have had an argument with a dude or whatever. Y'all going at it, whatever. Then a couple of days later, when you speak to him, it's like a whole different mindset where it's like, okay, he's coming from a mindset of resolving the issue, not
Hmm.
hanging on to the altercation that we had or whatever. Because yeah, you may be having your blow up, so to speak, but still in the back of that dude's mind, especially if he's a good dude, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, what can I do to resolve this issue, so to speak? And
Yeah, but
that's no, go on.
no, but when we do bring it to your attention of
Hmm.
what the problem is, like we're telling you, hey, this is what I'm feeling, or hey, this is what's going on, or this is what's not going on. But I feel like sometimes you men will still come at it as if it's like, oh, you're always complaining, something's always wrong. It's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to tell you, hey, this is what I feel like,
Tia.
this is, yes.
You keep going. Just after you talk, let me know you're done.
No,
Yeah,
no, go ahead. 'Cause I don't want you to lose your thought.
Now, like you say, it's not how you say it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, right?
Hmm.
That's for guys. For females, it's not what you said, it's when you said it. Because what y'all do is, from my experience, y'all try to bring things up when we bring things up. So I'm letting you know something that I'm annoyed by, and that's the moment you want to tell me about what I did. I'm not
Not all
hearing
the
it
time.
anymore. No, I'm not saying I didn't use absolute. I'm just saying
Okay.
that is how I see it often. It's y'all bring it up in the most inopportune time. I'm gonna bring it up right now. He's heated. I'm going to bring it up right now. He's not going to remember what you said because he's not worried about what you just said. And that's no offense. It's just I'm heated right now. I'm talking about my problems, and you're telling me what I did wrong and this and that. I can't hear you. So
see,
I think with sorry.
no, go on, go on, go on, go finish
No,
your
I was
point.
just going to say
Go ahead.
I think women should be as direct as possible because you think you're being direct by talking passively, and you expect me to know you because you think soulmates know how to read each other's minds. It doesn't work like that. I will never know how to read your mind. So you have to speak direct and tell a guy exactly what it is. That's how we understand. We don't
Yeah, but
understand.
we can do
See,
that. And no matter what is said or how it's said, you men will still take it as we're complaining, we're not satisfied, we're not happy, we want to
see,
out. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm
see.
just mhm.
This is the way I look at the situation. I hear everything you're saying, Jr. But the way I take it is, I think men give pushback because they see things going a certain way and there was never no complaint about it. Then just out of the blue, you hear a complaint about it. And it's like, yo, we've been doing XYZ. I never heard a complaint about it. I never saw any signs of maliciousness, and now out the blue you just boom drop this on me. So it's like, well, what I was doing, I thought it was the right thing, but now you're just telling me it's not the right thing. Why didn't you tell me from the jump, hey, this was not the right thing? Because you got me thinking this was like
because it's
the
not that
direction was
simple.
okay.
Like you just said, like you granted, even if you didn't just say what you just said about men really being not as emotionally strong as us in general, I have yet to meet a man where you can sit there and tell him, oh yeah, this is how it is, or this is what. No, they're still going to take it negatively. So a lot of times what us women do is we try to suck it up as much as we can, as long as we can. And then sometimes, like I said, everybody got their breaking point, and it's like, all right, I really got to tell him this because it's bothering me, or okay, I really need to tell him how I feel. Granted, I also understand that on the flip side, maybe in your mind, you know what, you have a lot going on. You're trying to balance A, B, C. You're trying to do all this. Oh, and she's bringing me another thing that I got to try to, try to figure it.
That
But
happens.
but for us, we don't see it that way. We just see, because remember, you men don't communicate like that. So for us, we feel like, well, if you're not addressing it, if you don't mention it, oh, he must be okay with it. All right, but I gotta let him know how it makes me feel. And no, I don't think it should always be brought up, when it's a heated argument. That's not right. But I also feel like no matter when you bring it up, the man is always going to give you pushback because it's like y'all don't want to hear nothing.
I mean, I'm not. I would think my wife would say I'm not like that. The way you just said it, you can tell me about myself. I actually would be. I'd feel bad if you don't tell me about myself because I think you're holding some valuable information. So I want you to tell me. When you don't tell me, and like Wall said, you wait till like far from that moment. I now have an issue because it's like, Dag, I thought everything was better than you're telling me, and
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
that's a problem. Uh huh.
No, go
And,
ahead.
and I think that's where I think that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's not always. But again, I want to make sure you know this. It's not always during an argument. It's not always, oh, you brought
No,
up a flaw about me, so now I'm throwing one back at you.
no, no,
It
no.
could
I get
be,
that.
yeah, but it could
Not
be
wrong.
anytime. I feel like we men don't want to hear anything about yourself. It's like, well, this is just how I've been operating. You either got to accept it, and it's like, yeah, but that's not how life works. If you, again,
That's
it's,
women.
what do you mean that's women?
That's women. You got to accept it this way because
No,
you remember
that's not
when
all
there
women.
was a conversation you was having with Walls, and he said, "What if the guy's content with his job?" And you said, "But he needs to be like ambitious, and no matter how he feels, he may be content, happy, and loving it. If you have an issue with it, it's a problem." So I just want you to know. I'll let you talk. I'll let you finish because I should.
Mic drop. Oh, you want to go there?
No, I'll let you finish because that was
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. That's a good
No,
point. That's a good point.
no, we can absolutely take it there because okay, if you're comfortable with what your job is, and and I'm gonna catch blowback from K Saeed with this one, but depending
PhD,
on what your job,
PhD.
but depending on what your job is, if I know that if my significant other is, I'm just hypothetically speaking, I'm not saying this is what it is. If my significant other is, a cashier at McDonald's, and here it is, I'm an administrator at a university. And if I feel like, you know what, babe, they have this program that's here and it's what your interest is, I really feel like you can get it. And you know what, because I'm in a different situation than you financially, I'll even pay for the course or I'll even pay for the program, whatever it is for you. So it's not like I'm the type of person where it's like, oh yeah, you just need to do better and that's it. It's like, no, I would like for you to, do whatever it is that you. So it's not a random thing. Like,
No,
oh
it's
yeah,
to do what you want. Because what we're saying is, if
no, no,
he's
no,
happy with his position and you want him to change it, he's happy,
but
but you want him to change it.
Because if
but
he
listen
wanted
to
to
what I'm
change his
saying.
position, if he wanted to change his position, he would have been like, "Yo, I'm ready to change this position."
But listen to what I'm saying. If you
Mm,
tell me you have an interest, right?
okay.
And
Okay.
I don't know, I'm picking something random. If you say you have an interest in computers, right?
Mhm.
And I know that the type of man that you are, you don't want, okay, you don't want to do anything extra. You're doing things within a budget, all these other things. And if I'm financially in a situation where I can pay for that course, or I know that that's the limitation that's stopping you because you can't afford it, because like I said, you're the cashier at McDonald's. I mean, you don't think as your significant other, I should be able to say, hey, babe, I know this is what you had an interest in. This is what you said. So I'm telling you, don't worry about the financial backing. I got you. I want you to follow your dreams. I want you to do that. And you mean to
Oh,
tell
that's
me that?
different.
Yeah,
That is
that
different.
But
that's
see,
different. Go on, go on.
no. So, and I feel like when we had that other video, yes, I didn't say that. I admit that. But what I'm saying is, like in general, if I know that I'm with somebody where they have other interests, like I have yet to meet this man. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I have yet to meet a man that's like, yes, I'm a cashier at McDonald's. This is all I'm doing. Don't ask me nothing else. I'm not. I have yet to meet that person.
I
But
know someone like
even
that.
Yeah, I know people like that too. Like I
and
said,
that's mhm.
no, because here's what I'm getting at. You can have somebody who be like, "Yo, man, I don't know." Like, say you have somebody who don't have their license, and they're like, "Yo, I want to work on getting my license or whatever, yada yada."
Mhm.
So now they're like, "Yeah, but I just can't go into the DMV, whatever." They're like, they saying they want to do it, but they know they really don't have the intentions to do it, so to speak. Like, it's just like all talk, so to speak.
Yeah.
So if that person know in the heart of hearts he don't really want to do it, and then you're like, "Hey, I presented this to you, whatever. Hey, I have the opportunity for to do it," and the person say no, and then you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. That's when it turned the person off because they're like, "Yo, I I'm not ready to do this." If the person literally say, "I'm not ready to do this," leave it alone. Because if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, then that's when the person gets turned off about it. Because everybody moves at their own pace.
I
You
hear
get what
what
I'm
you're
saying?
saying, but it's hard because it's like if you put it out there in the universe, if this is what you want to do or you have an interest in, your partner is, I mean, I'm not saying they're not your partner, but at the same time, so my circle's bougie. I am not bougie. Thank
It
you.
sound like it.
Uh,
No, that's a
but
good thing sometimes.
thank you. But what I'm trying to say is if you put it out there that you have an interest, like for example, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I was in a
Mhm.
situation where, I was a late bloomer. I got my license late. And yeah, I said it. Oh yeah, I know I need to get my license. Yeah, I know I need to. Oh, I know I need to. My partner was the one that was like, all right, I'm gonna go with you. And actually stood in that long line. And keep in mind, we still couldn't get everything done that day. It was literally, I think, like just going through that first phase of like going through, what is it, like your 7 points, whatever it is. I had to come
Mhm.
back another time so I could do the written exam and the driving test and all that other stuff. So it's one of those things where I guess at the end of the day, it depends on the person. But
Yes.
if this is your partner, you should want them to be their best self, to be the best version of their self. So that's like you said with the example of even someone who's overweight, or even the example of someone who needs to seek therapy. If you just sit back and you see that your partner is, not living up to their potential, if they said to you this is what they have an interest in or this is what they want to do, and you see them not doing those things, and you don't, I'm not going to say push them, but you don't encourage them, or you don't try to give them the resources to help them, then I'm sorry, that's a problem.
But
And
yeah,
maybe
but what
that's
I'm
where the disconnect is.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, at what point, if you're giving them the resources and they just don't want to do it, it's like, okay, if I'm giving the resources, I'm giving the resources, let me fall back. Because now it comes off, I'm trying to push that person into doing something that they don't really want to do.
Mm,
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that right there can push that person away.
mm,
Because
Yes.
I understand you have the best intentions for that person, but you can only lead a person to a water. You can't make them drink. Case in point, let's just say for the sake of argument, you're like, "Hey, I got this money to pay for this course, whatever," and you don't got to worry about money. So now they go into that course, but they fail because they wasn't 100% into it. Now it's, "Yo, you wasted my money, yada yada. What
no,
happened?"
no.
No, but what I'm saying is, that's no for you. But what I'm saying is, you get situations where the people will be like, "Yo, you wasted my money. What the hell? Whatever." Give it like, at the end of the day, if that person wasn't ready and they're doing it just because you forced their hands to, and they're not into it, whatever it
Hmm.
is you're trying to get them to accomplish is not going to get accomplished. They
Nice.
got to do it when they're ready to.
I understand, but you also have that other 50% where
Yeah.
that's what they need because they never had that. So if that was the case, that's like my job, for example. My job is to push people to coach, you know what I mean? To assist them to, make it from that freshman year all the way until graduation and beyond. That's like me saying, oh, yeah, you said that you can't pass this intensive writing course. Yeah, you're right. All right, come back to me when you're ready. No, That's my job to, encourage them and give them the resources to do what they need to do. And guess what? They succeed. So I hear what you're saying, but not everybody is like that. Some people
No, I
do
get
need
that.
that encouragement, and they do need to know that there's somebody in their corner that has their back. Because let's be honest, how many men are, or even women, how many people are with a partner that will actually sit there and say, you know what, babe, you said you wanted to start that boutique, let me give you the startup money. Oh babe, you said you wanted to take that course, let me help you, let me. How many people would do that, or how many people would love for their partner to do that? So I'm not saying
I
that
got a
person's
good
being
one.
ungrateful, but at the same time, it's like if you have someone that's in your corner that's encouraging you to be what it is you said you wanted to be. It's not like they're picking a random career for you. If you said this is what you want to do, and they're like, babe, I got you. I want you to be the best version of yourself. I'm sorry. You should take advantage of that, because there's
But
not
No,
that many
one
men and
hundred
women out
percent,
here
one
like
hundred
that.
percent. I say 100%. If that person is ready to, then yes, they're going to do it, whatever. But I don't know. I just feel as though if that person isn't ready to, then I feel like it's going to be their downfall because they're not going to be into it 100%.
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, there's nothing
And
you can lead them as much as possible, but if they're not into it, like how many people like they're like, "Yo, I play basketball because my parents pushed me or whatever. I don't really like to do it, but I do it because that I'm good at it and that's what they push me into doing." But their heart isn't really into it.
No, I
So it's you get what
understand.
I'm saying? So
But
that's what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
if you said you had an interest in it, or you said this is something I'm
well,
not talking about, oh,
Yeah,
well,
no, but Tia,
Tia,
what you're not realizing is you can say you have an interest in something and that person is pushing you and that makes you turns you off about it. What was
yes.
you about? What was you, go ahead, Jay. It's kind of like if I
Mhm.
say I'm into working out, right? And
mhm.
I'm
I
like,
was gonna
yes, I'm
say
ready
that.
to go to the gym or whatever. And now this personal trainer come, yes, you got a goal that you want to reach, and he's pushing the hell out of me. If I'm not ready to go at the pace that this guy is pushing me, you're going to turn me off about going to the gym now.
Now let me
Like you're
piggyback
gonna
off
make
you.
me not want to go.
Let me piggyback off what he's saying. With me as a personal trainer, I notice a lot of people say they want to get in shape. I hear that all the time from family members, from everybody. They don't wake up and do morning rants and walk like walls and work out. They say they want to do it. You believe them because they really, oh, I'm depressed. The pictures look ugly and blah, blah, blah. But then when you're trying to motivate them, all right, let's work out.
Mm.
They look at you like you're an enemy because you're trying to push them. Like when I'm ready, I woke up and they take offense to it. So yeah, someone can say they're ready, but they're coaching themselves sometimes. Like, come on, you can do it, you can do it. So when you're trying to push me in the water, I don't want to hear all of that. I'm gonna jump in when I'm ready because I'm trying to get the courage. And you're like, no, you should have the courage because I'm giving you the money. That does not work. It doesn't give me courage because you took care of that issue.
Not
It
in
just,
all case, and I understand what Tia's saying. That's not in all cases. In some cases, you
of
do need
course.
to push. But I'm just saying, try and find a medium where you're not pushing that person away. That's what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying? Just try and find that medium because, like I said, I understand it 100%. You want to help that person in your life, or whatever. You want to push you because you want the best. Like real talk, you want the best for the person that you're with, or whatever. But just try and balance off that happy medium where it's like you're not pushing that person away,
I hear
you know?
you.
Yeah. She said, I hear you. Like, she's like, I have a whole completely different take
Like
on
I
the
said,
matter or whatever.
like I said what I said.
No, I agree. I agree with
So
what you said 100%.
I hear
You
what
get what I'm
both of
saying?
you,
So,
I hear what both of you are saying, but I don't know. Like I even have a friend that's like that. Like him and his ex-girlfriend, they broke up partially for that reason, because he felt like she wasn't supportive and supporting her. But come to find out, it was because she was lax in even the things that she wanted to do for herself. So of course you couldn't expect her to push and motivate him because she didn't have it for herself. So, I've seen it a lot of times on the reverse, but I guess at the end of the day, like you said, it all boils down to the individual. And I guess if the man or woman is telling you, like, look, I'll do it when I'm ready. Thank you for the, okay, fine. But I
Tia,
get it.
but Tia, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying what you're saying is
No, I
great and
get that. I never
100%.
said
You
you
get
were
what I'm saying?
disagreeing
Yeah.
with me.
Cause you like, I hear what y'all saying, but yeah, I'm gonna go with what I want.
No, I'm not. I never said that.
I'm messing with you.
See, there we
Come
go
on
with the
now. I'm
communication.
messing
You
with
men
you.
don't
But
listen.
yeah, man, like just try and find that happy medium. That's the best thing I could say or whatever. All right.
Okay.
So the
And
next
what
subject we're
case
gonna
are
go.
you talking about? I'm gonna put this in my memoir.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course she wants to know. That was the subject of, do you want to tell your partner, if something is bothering, like something that your partner is doing is, if it's bothering them, whatever, would you tell them, or would you want to know when we ask you that or whatever? And he's like, of course she want to know. Tia's gonna put it in her memoir. She's gonna make it a college course.
Exactly. Actually, am working on a book for first generation undergraduate college students. Thank you so
Nice.
much.
Do it.
Yes.
Oh man. All right, let me see. Other comments. Any comments stand out to y'all that we
Kiki
want to
and
tackle?
Erica. Kiki and Erica had some comments.
Okay, let me see. Wait, what was first said? Okay. I do feel if there's things that you want to do in your life, your partner should be able to support you and help you get through them. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I
That's
agree
their,
with that. Or
yeah,
I
that's their
agree.
job. I would
yep.
say husband. I don't know about a boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know if that's their job.
Well, here's my thing on that. Even boyfriend or girlfriend, right? Because
Okay.
at the end of the day, what people fail to realize is, you being boyfriend and girlfriend, your audition is to be doing the stuff that
Hmm.
you would be doing if you're married. Because, like I always say, how do you expect to get in a CEO position if you're not doing CEO tasks? If you're not doing things that show you're worthy of being a CEO? You get what I'm saying? Unless you know somebody, like you're born into wealth, you don't just land a CEO person or general manager position or a manager position at that. You got to show you have the proper qualifications through your actions to get said position. So
Yeah.
relationship or marriage, in a relationship, you still got to play that role to show that you require that qualification of getting married.
Yeah, but I could be a great CEO by just observing. Let's say I have customers and clients. I've observed what they want, and I found a way to give them their to meet their needs.
So
I
let
don't
me ask
need. Uh-huh.
so let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
So if you got with a chick, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're like, yo, I need to show you that you're worthy to be married. She's like, well, I've been watching, I've been watching the notebook and stuff like this. So I know the qualifications. So marry me now. I'll show you after I'm married.
No,
You're gonna take that. You're
no,
gonna take that
but
because
here
she's
go what
watching from afar.
here go what I mean by that is you're going to try to be what you think makes a good wife. So you're not being
Mhm.
yourself. So yeah, I'm dating you, but this audition is fake because this is not what I'm going to get. So I can't even look at it like, okay, she's a great CEO. No, you're just playing the role of what you were told is a great CEO. So I can't just trust that. What I need to learn is you. I need to know the real you to understand, can I live with this for the rest of my life? If not, then you got to go. But I can't look at it as she was a great girlfriend. Nah, because you're playing a role that you think I want. And that's what I notice with females. Whatever they think I want, that's what they're doing. And it's like, that's not what I want. Everything Tia's saying is communication, this and that. To them, I guess I'm weird like that, but that's what I want. I want to talk. I want to blase blah. So what you're trying to show me you're great, you're gonna buy me this, you're gonna do that. It means nothing to me.
Yeah, but
So
see, you're
But
rare
here's the
because a
thing
lot of
though.
men don't like to communicate.
Here's the thing. If that was the case, you said them women that were showing you all these things, whatever, yada yada, then you would have married one of them. But what happened over time? Their true colors showed, right?
yes. Well,
Exactly. So
yeah.
that's the thing. So you gonna eventually see their true colors. So they can show you this face or whatever the case may be, but eventually with time, you're gonna see their true colors.
I would even say, not even with Tom, I knew their true colors. It was just a matter
Mm.
of I was comfortable in the moment where, you know what,
Hmm.
there's sex involved, whatever. That's why with me and my wife, it was more of a let's do things correctly and start slow because before that, it was just since there's sex involved, whatever issues I have, I'm going to deal with it
Yeah.
because it's good. And it's like that was always blinding me. And yeah, I could have gotten married, but I always knew she was like this. I knew when we go out, she tried to excite um anger in me and this and that. So I don't know. I don't think girlfriend boyfriend is like like I owe you something as your boyfriend where I need to do this. No, I'm not your husband. I'm trying to see, are you the right person for me? I'm weighing my options. I'm checking here, checking there. That's what
I,
I
I
think.
I gotta disagree,
I
man.
get it.
I see it as when you're in a relationship, you're basically showing I have the qualifications to be a husband, I have the qualifications to be a wife. That's
You're
how I
saying it
see it.
from a guy's point of view. Let me ask you this: do you think women are just their true selves when they're with you? Do you think They may binge in front of you. They may leave this around. Like, no, they're gonna be there. The
See
best
me,
version.
I'm the
Uh-huh.
type of person that whoever I'm dealing with or whatever,
Uh-huh.
I kind of like make you not make you, but I kind of like have you relax where it's like, yo, you show your true self. You're comfortable in your own skin around me. You fart in front of me, oh well, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So I'm the type where it's like, yo, let your guard down, be yourself around me, stuff like that. So I
But
like you get what I'm saying. So it's not a situation where it's like I won't see the person's true colors, so to speak,
but
because
but
a
you're
lot of
saying someone can't outact what you're used to just because you're telling them to be comfortable. They can't be a fake version of themselves. Nah, they can still do that. And no, I know he told me this, but I'm gonna be this way. I
you
think he
know
want me. Uh-huh.
you know why that doesn't work with me because
Why?
because when it comes to stuff that people tell me, I have memory like an elephant.
Me too.
You can tell me something now, I'm gonna remember it 3 years from now, 4 years from now, like, "Yo, remember what you said at 6:55 PM, the sun was coming
Oh
down, you had that blue shirt on with the red," you get what I'm saying? Like, certain things that a person say, like, case in point, right? I remember, I was with an ex or whatever, right? We were supposed to kick it on a Friday night or something like that, and she was like, "Yo, I can't make it because 'cause I'm supposed to go see this movie, The Skeleton Key." And that just so happened that night, I wasn't really beat
like
for
that.
company anyway or whatever. So I was like, I bet because she called me, left a voicemail, or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my girls. We going to see Skeleton Key or whatever. Boom. Our relationship had ended or whatever. Like 3, 4 years down the line, whatever. I'm in one of like them DVD stores, whatever, and I'm like, oh shoot, Skeleton Key. Yo, I remember such and such. Because no, what happened was I had it wrong. She called me and said she was out with her girls and saw Skeleton Key, and that movie was fire, yada yada. So that's why she didn't come through, whatever. So I'm like, I bet. So when I'm in the DVD store, I see Skeleton Key. I'm like, yo, such and such said this movie was fire, yo. Hit her
Men
up.
listen.
Yo, huh?
Men listen. Wow.
Yeah. So I was like,
Really?
"Yo, remember you told me that Skeleton Key. Remember you told me that that movie was hot, whatever, yada yada." Skeleton Key. I never saw Skeleton Key.
Oh wow.
Oh, really? Nah, I never seen it. Oh, okay. I was like, all right, my bad. Hung up the phone. It was later down the line, like when because we would talk often. So she hit me up, whatever. I was like, yo, because we was talking about like our relationship, how I messed up, she messed up. I was like, yo, so you're gonna sit here and act like you didn't call me that time and told me about Skeleton Key? What are you talking about? You told me you left me a voicemail saying you saw Skeleton Key with your girls, whatever. I broke it down verbatim. Oh, shut up, boy. Whatever, whatever. Like, like just
Sounds right.
tossed it up like that or whatever. Shut up. That's why I hate you or whatever. I was
Got
like, yo,
him.
so don't sit here and act like, XYZ. So yeah, I have perfectly good memory when it comes to stuff like that. So it's like pulling a fast one on me. Even if you do pull a fast one on me, I'm like, all right, mere bag of shells. Life goes on. It is what it is.
Mm,
I just have crocodile skin like that. Yeah, it may hurt, whatever, but I'm not gonna sit there and wail in my sorrow. I'm gonna
mm,
like I'll be hurt for like a good couple of days. Then I'm like, all right, it is what it is. That's just me.
interesting.
I mean, it comes off sad, but like even my mom's funeral and to this day, I still never shed a tear.
Mm,
Still never shed a tear. I'm sad and hurt about it, but and I understand, grown men are supposed to cry, whatever, this, that, and the third. But like, I don't know, man. I'm weird like that where stuff can hurt me, but I can easily move on from the pain. Like, yeah, I'm,
That's
I'm
not.
weird like that. Yeah.
as long as
That's
you don't
not. That's not
expect it
weird.
from your, as long as you don't
Nah,
expect
not
the
at all.
same
I
from
don't
your
that's one
significant
thing. I
other.
don't I don't expect that. Nah, that's the thing. Just because I'm one way doesn't mean I expect the same from the other person. Like that's not realistic.
Mm,
That's not realistic. I don't mm-mm. I don't
So
work. I don't
wait, if you
operate like
strive
that.
for excellence, you don't think someone should strive for excellence as well? They should just aim at the bottle. Like you're comfortable with that?
What if they should aim at the I feel like, yo, aim for the best that you can. I may try and help you to reach another level or whatever, but if that's what you're comfortable with, that's what you're comfortable with. You
Okay.
get what I'm saying? Because just because my level is here doesn't mean that that's where your level is.
No, not with the execution, but as far as the like you're trying to excel, you're trying
Mhm.
to advance. Like even
See,
Tia was,
my thing is I gotta understand what a person's strong and weak point is.
yeah,
And if a person's weak point is like, for instance, I was working out with my boy, whatever. He had shoulder surgery and stuff like this, right? So his thing was like, yo, I understand I understand you can rehabilitate it, whatever, yada yada. But most people will be like, yo, I'm gonna push you so that you gain the root full motion back in your arm, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, I'm gonna push you to work, whatever, but I'm not gonna push you to the point where you're doing like you're detrimental to yourself. No. If you're telling me that this is the most you can go up, I'm not gonna sit here and try and force you to go when you get
that's
to that
not that's
point
not what I
of
mean. I mean
okay,
for what you can do. Some people, yeah, they may not be able to achieve what you can, but they definitely can push themselves more. That's what I mean. And you
yeah,
can,
and that's what I'm saying. If he can push himself more, then push yourself more. I'm going to lead you to it, but now it's at the end of the day, it's up to you for you to decide if you're going to push it more or not. I'm not going to sit there and like try and force it upon you. That's just me. That's just how I am.
I dig
I
it.
try not to force anybody into do the things that they want. I rather like for instance, I'm not gonna guilt somebody into doing something for me. If you're gonna
Oh
do
no,
it, I
that's
want you to do it out of not guilt somebody, but like I'm not gonna pressure you into doing something or whatever. I
Mhm.
want you to do it because you want to do it, so to speak.
dig it.
You get what I'm saying? So that's just how I am.
Where the
I was
super
never the
chats
type.
at?
Yeah. I was never the type to force anybody to do anything. And that's just because that's something that was going on in my upbringing, like in my
Mhm.
household. We didn't force if somebody's going through a problem, we didn't force you to talk about it. When you're ready to speak to us about it, you'll speak to us about it. Like that's just how my upbringing was. So yeah, I'm not in the business of forcing anybody to do anything. JR, you grew up with me. When did
I
I
know.
force people to do stuff? I never
You was
or
chill
I was
laid
more
back.
laid back and nonchalant. You feel me? So that was
Forever.
just me. You feel me? So all right. So okay. So the next thing was guys like build. Oh, that's what I missed. Kiki said, Erica Pierre, I completely agree. However, some people in personal experience, women like to try and mold a man, and her response was like, guys are build a bear. Do you feel Tia guys are build a bears? That with that look,
I
yes.
don't think no. I
The
don't
No.
look,
think that I don't think that men are build a bear. However, I do feel like sometimes men operate at a pace slower than we do. So sometimes, like I said, they just need to know that they have that support, they have those resources. Because see, here's where I'm coming from with it. In my background in psychology, I feel like a lot of times with men, they're not given the freedom or the room to find themselves like women are. You know what I mean? It's like when it comes to and I mean, this is just my opinion, and even in my professional experience, it's like with a man, it's like okay, you turned 18, okay, now you have to be the man in the house. You got to work. Okay, you have to do this. You have to do that. But with women on the other end, it's like okay, take your time. You need to go to school. You want to change your major 3 times. You want to, like we're given that freedom of doing those things, and a lot of times men aren't. So it's not so much that I feel like a man is a build a bear, but I do feel like sometimes he didn't have the support like we did, especially if you grew up in a single parent household. So I don't like the term build a bear, but I just feel like, hey, I'm not saying we have to mold them either, like they're Play Doh. But if they do need that extra assistance or they do need our support, I don't know. I don't understand why we can't give that to them.
Nah,
see, you
I,
gotta
I
be.
would. Nah, go on. Go ahead,
I
Joel.
was just gonna say, don't sugarcoat. Just be real and
Yeah.
I
just
am
say it.
being real. Like I said, I don't like the term build a bear. I guess for sake of conversation, maybe we will use that term. But I just feel like because of the fact that they weren't given the same, luxuries as us, like I don't understand why I can't be there and support him. Like I said, if there's a course that you want to take, If I have the resources, I don't understand why I can't. And then I guess if you're looking at it from the outside looking in, like, oh, you're molding him, or he's a builder bear, he's this or that. I mean, that's my man. And if I see a future with him, and if that's what it takes for me to help him be where he needs to be, so we can be, a better unit in the future, then hey, he could be my builder bear all day.
What was you gonna say, Jr.?
No, I was just gonna with everything she just said. It was just we are builder bears because what you see is the potential in us, and it's like if he had this, he would be. If he was, he would be. And there was something you said, and I think it was the Kevin Samuels. What makes him qualified? What are his credentials? And with that, remember Mark Twain. I know you know Mark Twain's quote where he said, "Never let schooling interfere with your education." So what else we were thrown into life experience, where it's like, yo, you got to do by yourself. You got to buy your own car. You
Mm-hmm.
can get a job. You got to. So we have real life experiences where we're not just going to school and learning this and that. We're
Yep.
actually in life, and we have to learn it. Where yeah, we're women when we just step out in the sense of we're delicate. We're we're young. So at the end of the day, we have to learn it right away. So you're saying we're slower, we're not. When we're in, like, let's say relationships, we're paying more attention to the relationship than y'all think y'all are. Y'all are
Really?
more, yeah, because y'all more so playing a role. Y'all want to be perfect. And with us, it's more of a we know what we like, we know who we are. So it's a matter of let's see if she is who's gonna be my wife, going to be my child's mother. Let me see. But with child's, I got to be perfect. I got to have my hair done. And it's like, who are you being perfect for? Because we told you, you look good the way you are, but y'all want more. Y'all. So, nah, I don't believe we're slow, or I don't believe that. I just believe it's a miscommunication where we have experience, real life experience, and y'all listen to certain songs and movies that are painting fantasies where there's a perfect guy out there, and it's like, no, you can't make us perfect because every single one of us always gonna have a flaw, always.
Absolutely. I agree
But it
with you.
seems like y'all don't accept that. Where it's like, I need to change this flaw in him, and it's like,
It's not
does it?
about us wanting to change it. Like I said, we
Mm-hmm.
understand we're not perfect. But what I'm saying is, if we are two people from two different walks of life trying to come together as one, if
Okay,
there's something that you do, and vice versa, if there's something that I do or I wear or whatever that you don't like or you don't think is going to take us into the long term, you wouldn't want to tell me, just like I don't want to tell you.
I would.
Yeah, yeah,
But
of
that's what I'm
course.
saying. So if it's something that we see, or if something that yeah, for sake of conversation, we don't like. But again, we see the future with you guys. And it's not that major where yeah, we're gonna break up with you. But at the same time, if it's something in our mind that we feel could be worked on, of course we're gonna say it to you, we're gonna point it out to you. But like I said before, the problem is you men don't like to hear anything about yourself. It's like this is who I am, this is how I am when you met me, deal with it.
But
As
that's an
opposed,
assumption, Tia, because
no, it's
you're
not.
on a
I'm
call
telling
with
you
two
from
guys that are different.
experience.
I
Yeah,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
you
yeah.
are two
Because
guys out of how many men on this
But
planet?
it's only
no,
two on this call,
yeah,
and we're
be-
too different from that. Y'all come
and
in with the assumption that's how we're going to be, and
yeah,
we're not like that.
Okay.
and you know what to say too. Like, trust me, on the other side of the spectrum, like that's the thing. With every yin, there's a yang because you can have guys who are the ones that are great communicators, but the person they run into aren't great communicators, and they're looking at it as take me as I am or and stuff like you get what I'm saying. So there's always gonna be the other side of the coin in that aspect or whatever.
I
But
hear you, but in my
guys, don't get
experience,
me wrong, guys are bad communicators, but
yes, they are.
that's not all men though. That's not all men because you
I
have
hear
men
That's
who
what
you.
are
she's
great
talking
communicators.
like, though. She's talking
Yeah,
as if
you
it's
get what I'm
all
saying?
men,
Yeah, you're talking like this all men, and that's
and I
not
don't.
the
We don't say
case.
all women, but
Yeah,
you
that's not the
definitely
case.
I didn't say all men.
no.
You
I
But
didn't
you,
said
have to
in my
say
yeah.
experience.
yeah,
So let me just clarify that. I didn't say all men.
but not saying it, it comes off as. That's what you're not realizing.
I'm just saying in my experience and in my friends' experience, men are not great communicate. The men, I didn't say all, are great communicators. And like I said, you guys don't like to hear anything about yourself.
This is what I'm saying to you as it comes off because even if JR say, "Yo, men are good communicators," you'll turn around and be like, "No, they're not." What do you mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
You
even when I'm giving an examples, you're still like, no, 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 but all men. And it's like, I hear you. You are just two men that are on this
Tia,
call. But
all we're saying is that you come off as it looks like you're saying that for all men. That's
Yeah.
what
Okay, and
we're listening to you,
Wally,
and
I
that's what
am
we're saying.
clarifying that I'm not saying it's all men. I'm saying that in my experience.
But when we tell you another man exists, it's as if you speak in a way where it's like, well, they don't exist. I haven't seen anybody like that. That's why it seemed like you're saying all men. Yeah, I haven't really met certain women a certain way, but I
Okay.
know y'all exist. I know that.
No, I
I,
definitely understand that. I definitely understand there are men out there who are open communicators, and they want that. They want that feedback, and they give it just as freely. I understand that. Like I said, I'm not saying it's all men.
do you think
So
women are
that's
direct talkers, like just in general, that women will directly say what it is?
No, not all women. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier when I said that a lot of times in the beginning, especially, we don't say things. It does take later on, unfortunately, in some instances, it's usually, like you mentioned, during an argument, which I don't agree with, but we do tend to say it later on down the line of the relationship. Like, okay, babe, when you do this bothers me. Like, babe, can you do less of this? Okay. So no, I definitely am not saying all women are direct. In my experience, I will say that I feel like women have been more direct than men.
Oh wow, that them guys, they got problems.
Yeah. But me personally, I think when it comes to build a person,
Okay.
I think that
Hmm.
goes both ways. I think men are trying to build women a certain way, and women are trying to
Absolutely.
build men a certain way. And not that's why you see like, and here's the thing, guys don't realize like what, like they're late bloomers. So when they
Yeah.
get older, that's when they actually start looking to find themselves, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? So usually by the time they're older, when you look at older men, they usually try and go with like younger women in their early 20s and stuff because they can mold that woman to the way he likes whatever. And older women tend to not really like younger men. There's some women that do like younger men whatever, but women, a lot of times women are like, yo, I don't want to have to retrain a guy whatever. I want a guy who already knows what to do and stuff like that or whatever. But even when you have a guy that knows what to do, you're still going to have to kind of mold him into what you want. And it seemed like, I could be wrong, that women don't even want to do that,
No,
like
that's
try and mold the guy a little bit. You don't think so?
you said that we don't want to mold him.
No, not I'm not saying all women. I'm saying certain women, like some women don't even want to like mold, like they want a guy that's already a
Oh
complete
yeah,
package. You get
absolutely.
what I'm
I
saying?
definitely
They don't
agree
want to
with
go
you.
through the process of building a guy.
I definitely agree with you. And that's why if you notice, like if you do tend to see a lot of women who are like over the age of even 40 who are still like single and possibly unmarried, a lot of them, again, in my experience, will say it's because like, yeah, they are looking for, especially if they're already established, they're looking for someone on their level, if not higher. And yeah, it's not that simple.
Uh,
In no
Black-
case, Saeed, I don't need to book a
yeah.
session, but
Black
thank
Sheepdog
you.
said women do that because they constantly are competing with other women, always trying to be perfect, dressing up. No, I mean, Tia, you could speak on that, better than anybody. Do you feel like that's what women do?
I can't speak for all women. I know in terms of
I mean,
myself,
like not all women, but do you, in your opinion, do you think women do that?
I don't think women do it to compete with other women. I think we do it because we think that this is what a man likes. Like I said, for example, with the, example of the eyelashes, you know what I'm saying? Like we do the things, don't get me wrong. For the most part, I have seen and heard a lot of women say they do certain things because it's for them. They don't dress up for a man. They don't do this for a man. I hear that often. But again, I rarely hear women say that they do certain things because they're competing with other women.
All right.
Again, we
I
think that this is what
yeah.
men like. So unless you tell
Gr-
us,
Growing up, though, that's what women would say. Like, I don't dress for a man; I dress for other women. I used to hear.
really,
Yeah, you never said it or heard it.
no.
Oh wow.
Yeah, me personally, I thought like I think women dress more to outdo other women than impress guys at times. That's just what I think.
But for the
See,
attention of the guy, though, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
for the attention of the guy, but I think they mainly dress to outdo other women.
Yes.
Say
Because
from
I'll tell you one thing, guys, we dress to out, like if we go into the club, we want to outdress the dudes in there. Like we want to look fresh, but it's like, yo, ha, nobody got these shoes, nobody got this shirt. word, I'm gonna kill him in the club. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we want to look nice for women, but we compete with other dudes with what
See,
we're
I don't
wearing.
know. For me, it's always been like this is just what I like, or this is what made me feel comfortable, or oh, I lost a few inches. I want to use this because you know what I mean. It made me feel good, or like I said, if I want to look good for my significant other. But I never thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and make my friends jealous, or oh I want the, or oh I want to look better than this other one. I never had that mentality.
Wow, you're a unicorn then, man. Because
Yeah.
And you're just now finding this out.
I'm like, yo, man, women I come across, they be in competition with the clothes they wear when they go to a clubbing and stuff like that. Like, it's like the dude is an afterthought. Now, if they
See,
going to see their boo or something like that, then yeah, they want to dress nice, But if you're talking like a party setting, a club,
But see,
wow,
even for me, like even being in a relationship, like I'll still put it on. Like I refuse to, dress like a ragamuffin, like I said, because at the end of the day, not only does it make me feel good, but I also represent him. You know what I
true.
mean? Like
mhm.
I'm not trying to outshine no other woman. Or, like trust me, another woman is the last thing on my mind when I put my makeup on or do my hair or I step outside the. That's the last thing on my mind.
All right. So let's move on to the last hold on, we got a call in, I believe.
Oh Lord, is it Kate Saeed?
Lone Wolf. All right, let's see. Lone Wolf, what's going on? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello? Hey, how's it going? So what you got for us?
Hey man, like your, hey man, like your stream, like the popped up in my feed and stuff. Man,
Yeah,
I just want to just support the smaller channels and stuff, you know. So, um,
thank you. I appreciate that.
regarding,
Oh,
yeah, for sure. I mean, like regarding like your the topic and stuff, you know, I'm on the younger side and stuff actually.
Yeah.
Like I'm the generation the Z and stuff, and I'm
Hmm.
19 years old actually, and
Oh wow.
I'm a
Okay.
yeah, I'm a pre-med student too. Self
Wonderful.
introduction, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, self
congrats.
Yeah.
introductions.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah. I'm in like a BS to like a BS like to the ND the program and stuff. You know,
Hmm.
like I'm
Right.
trying to finish up. I'm trying to finish up in my sociology degree in about. I mean, I say
Oh,
about the 2.5 years.
oh
Perfect.
wow.
That's
Make
Yeah,
the
sure
that's
going
you
good,
process
man.
now, sir. Yeah,
and
that's the
also
going
make
process.
sure that you did your FAFSA. It opened yesterday.
Oh, I already did it, man.
Oh, he
Perfect.
on it.
Good
He
Yes.
on
job.
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
but
Good job. You
Wonderful.
on it.
yeah, it's just like yeah, like regarding your like the topping and stuff, I feel like the question is like the culture and stuff in the society the making the two women the comfortable and stuff. Well, I feel
Yeah.
like this like the from my the perspective and stuff, I feel like that social media has like a big like um
Hmm.
influence on the women these days and their like
Hmm.
behavior and stuff because like the for example and stuff, you know, I noticed that like in our the western the society and stuff, I feel like,
Hmm.
you know, just the more oh my god, the women these days are very like the masculine and they're like the rude also and stuff. It's a sad like the society like we live in and stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, like a couple years back and stuff, like I went to Thailand and stuff, and I noticed that the more women over there, they're more like the feminine, and
Mm.
they're submissive also and stuff. You know,
Hmm.
yeah, it's just like the cultures and stuff. I feel like, you know, this man, the social media and stuff has really like just the messed up the Western, the
Absolutely.
so-called
Yeah.
like the modern woman, man. And also it's just like the women these days, man, they got some crazy
Yeah.
standards,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially like I'm actually like the hey man, I'm Chinese American, you know.
Okay.
That's a great side and stuff. It's just like I feel like man, it's happening in the Asian American like the community too, man. Man, it's a tough shit also, man. I'm sorry for the
Yeah.
language. It's
No, it's
just
no problem. And you know
it's
what's
just
funny? My
yes sir.
one of the partners on the show, he's actually Philippines and Guyanese.
Oh, Guyanese.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what's
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
shout out to the brothers in the Philippines, man.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, I can speak a little Filipino. It's like the "Cómo está kayo?"
Oh, okay,
Hey,
okay.
share me that.
I
Share me that.
don't know if
Yeah.
he can speak Philippines. I never asked him or whatever,
Okay.
but yeah,
Okay.
I'll definitely
That's cool though.
definitely tell him you
Yeah.
gave him a shout out. All right. So
Uh,
here's a question I have to
sure,
for you.
sir. Sure.
Now you're saying that you feel that women in the Western
Yes, man.
cultures, like,
Yeah.
they're more feminine and stuff like that. Now, as far as like women in America, do you feel like they, as far as like taking guidance from other women who like are doing, do you feel like when it comes to them taking
Okay.
advice from other women that are ratchet, they more
Sure.
embrace it as opposed to women who tell them, hey, you should be more feminine and stuff? Do you feel like they turn the blunt, like turn, look at it as a pick me or look at it in a snub way?
Well, I mean, um, oh man, that's a good question. I mean, our society and stuff. I feel like the social media, like the specific the influencers and stuff, like
Hmm.
the Cardi B, the
Hmm.
Sweetie. Oh my God, like man, man, they're crazy and stuff,
Yeah.
and they teach like the females and stuff to be very like the masculine, like the
Mhm.
rude, and then like the drug, like the men also and stuff. It's just like so disgusting. Like
Yeah.
it's just like the society I mean, like we live in stuff. Like the women, man, the women these days want to they want to take advantage of like these, like these poor. I mean, like,
Well,
man, like the poor, like the men these days, that are
yeah.
like the
Yeah.
hardworking. They work the 6 to 7 figure. I mean, the salaries and stuff and
Yeah.
pensions, and
Yeah.
it's a sad society like we live in and stuff. It's just like these like the specific the celebrities like man like the oh my god Cardi B, the Nicki Minaj, the Sweetie, and like the Brittany Renners. Oh, Brittany Renner, man, she's evil. I'm sorry to the
Yeah.
women out
Oh
Yeah.
there, but she's
yeah.
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah.
She,
Yeah.
I gotta
she
Yeah.
is
agree.
evil. She is evil, man. She's dark. She
Yeah, yeah,
man, she has a dark heart. Like it's just like I'm not trying to offend anybody on here, but it's just like, man, she evil.
yeah.
Like,
Hey, it's your opinion, and you're entitled to
yeah,
your opinion. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
But
yeah,
I agree with you on that aspect. I agree with
sure.
you.
Yeah,
Yep.
but to the brother, the PJ Washington, the NBA player and stuff, man,
Yeah.
man, bro, you gotta be more self-aware of the female nature and stuff. The female nature is gonna get worse, like, for the next 5 to 10 years. Like, it's gonna get like the tremendously, like the worse and stuff.
Hmm.
And I
Now,
feel like,
Lone Wolf, can I ask you a question about
sure,
what you
man,
just said?
Yes.
sure, man.
Now, when it came to PJ Washington and the Brittany Renner situation,
Okay,
she pretty much had like her platform is like known for all the men that she has messed with in the industry. She even wrote a book about it,
sure, okay,
from Colin Kaepernick to Lil Uzi Vert to all these different men that she's messed with. She even
okay.
has a video where she said, "Ladies, if you want to hook an athlete, go ahead because they're stupid.
Hmm.
It's easy to get a baby by them, pretty much get a bag by having their baby." So at what point do we put the onus on the men for still messing with women like that, knowing that that's what she put out there?
That's a good
He's a
question.
Just a
simp.
question.
Yeah, just a question. Like your opinion.
Sure. Sure. Regarding like the PJ Washington, the situation and stuff, I felt like the father figure and stuff, like, I mean, he wasn't there for him. It seems like he never just that made him like the self aware and stuff like that. Like, oh man, if you're in the NBA, woman will be chasing your ass down.
Yes, that's
And
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
yes.
Oh man, like a blunt or something, man. Shit, a blunt. I don't know, but a blunt or like a bottle of Henny. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, 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 for sure. But it's just like I feel like the father figures in our society. I mean, it's just like I feel like they're not like the bonding well, like with their like they're the sons and stuff as much, and just to giving them the right information and stuff, like to be more self aware. It's just like, man, it sucks for these like,
Yeah. So
man, it
so
sucks. Sure, go ahead.
so in other words, like, the fathers and stuff are doing a bad job of like teaching these young athletes and stuff coming up to make better
Yeah,
choices, so to speak.
That's facts.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I feel like a lot of these like the athletes I mean, these like the athletes and stuff, like they're pretty like this like oh man, they're like the spoon fed pretty much. They just like rely on their popularity and stuff to pull like the woman and stuff. They got
Mhm.
no game at all. They got no
Yeah,
game at all. It's just like I mean, a lot of these like the man, a lot of these like the athletes and just a lot of these like the oh my god, the athletes and stuff have to be like that humbled and stuff. You know, it's just like we live in a society where like the woman will be will like to try to play with your like emotions and stuff, and they're
yeah.
just like the two face, you know.
You know what I think it is? I think the athletes, since they make so much money, they look
Yeah,
at it as if this woman take me and like take me through the ringers, it's okay because I still have money.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I
yeah,
might as
for
well
sure.
have this little bit of fun right now. If all she want is money, because if I was like if all she want is money, I have a lot of that. So it doesn't bother me if that's what she want me for, as long as I'm having my fun, so to speak.
Yep.
Like that's kind of like the way I think a lot of these athletes look at it. So
Yeah, for
Wait, Long
sure.
Lone Wolf, you subscribe because you sound cool and we
yeah, you
want you on
definitely
I did
here.
sound cool,
subscribe.
man. Yeah, appreciate
I did
that. I
subscribe, of course,
appreciate
man.
that.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. I gotta support the like the smaller channels and stuff. And I'm a hardcore the supporter of like the brothers out there, like the Kevin Samuels, the
Yeah,
Steph is Cold, the FitX Fearless, like those like
yeah,
the brothers. And man, that one guy like the Alpha Male Strategies, man. Hey, hey,
yeah,
shout
yeah,
out to him. Hey, he gives great
yeah.
advice, man. He gives great advice and
We
stuff.
do,
And
we do.
hey man, hey man, the Black brothers helped me out so much, like just coming from an Asian perspective, I do
Yeah,
like appreciate
yeah.
you guys, so
Thank
I
you.
do
I
like appreciate.
appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. All right,
Yeah,
yeah. Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate your call and definitely appreciate your support, man.
for
Appreciate
sure.
it
Yeah,
100%.
Have a good
yeah,
night,
bye.
brother.
All right. Have a good
Yeah,
night,
yeah,
brother. Thanks for
yeah. Just
calling in.
yeah, salute my man.
All right. Later. Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Yeah.
so um yeah, man, that was definitely a good call. That was definitely a good call. Thanks for calling in, Lone Wolf. Um what was I about to say? Yeah, but the last topic that we was going to bring up was Tia, you said that you wanted more clarity on the subject of what women bring to the table
Yeah,
from the last video me and Ray made.
it wasn't so much clarity. I just kind of felt like you guys misunderstood what her point was. Like
Okay.
when she made the video, and I feel like because you men are so literal, and I don't mean all men, I meant
Mhm.
him and Ray. Let me clarify. I just felt like because you guys are so literal, you literally took the example she gave and you ran with it. But the point of her video was that no matter what a woman says she brings to the table, like she could say, "Oh yeah, I'll be there for you. I'll rub your back. I'll cook clean." It's like, well, I could cook and clean for myself. What do you have going for yourself? Do you have a business? Do you have a degree? And then on the other hand, when you have the woman that's like, well, I have the degree and I have the business. Okay, but what else do you bring to the table? Can you? And it's like, okay, and she used the words confusion because it's like I don't understand what you men want. So then you and Ray proceeded to go on to say what a man wants, and I'm like, no, but that's not what she's saying. We've asked you men, what is it that you want? And of course, depending on the man, you get a different response.
Yes.
We're more so telling you how it makes us feel, and we feel invalidated because even if we say to you, we want to be your piece, we want to do this, we want to do that. Oh no, well that's not enough. You have to have a business. You have to. Okay, well I have a degree and I have a business. No, that's not enough because a degree is not going to put. Like she was more so telling you how it made us feel as women. So that's why I was saying instead of further telling us what it is that you guys want, we got that. What we're saying is we now feel invalidated because of these things. And then also because you got Kevin Samuels out there, I also feel like it's making a lot of men, feel like, oh yeah, Kevin Samuels, that's our godfather, that's this, and that, when his material isn't even for some of those men who were using it against some black women. That's all I'm saying. And I felt like you guys missed that point.
Well,
Well,
no,
before
go
you
on. Go
clarify,
ahead.
before you, what I would say is from what she said and what you're saying, it seems as if y'all don't y'all say y'all get that every man is different, but then when y'all come into a new situation, y'all try to present us with what the last guy wanted. I didn't want that. He wanted that. and you're trying to give me what he wanted, and I'm telling you something different, and now you feel overwhelmed, like, oh my God, what do these guys want? I'm different. I don't want you to think, what do these guys want? What do June want? What do Walls want? But y'all just see it as if, oh, I do this. I didn't ask you to do that. The only thing I asked you was for this, but you're giving me everything else you think is good because in your last relationship, it was what was hurting you. So I hear what you're saying, but you have to hear that we're all different. I didn't tell a woman I needed this, that, but y'all are telling us this is what I bring to the table and I should give you this and give you that. And y'all should ask us what we want. Y'all should talk to us about these things. Y'all don't really want to hear what we got to say. Y'all get, it seemed like y'all huddle up and then y'all that's what it seemed like. Y'all huddle up and y'all, oh, that is how guys are. That is what they, and it's like, no, I told you what I want. I want this, that, and this. That's it. Every other thing you give me, that's great. I love it. But I didn't ask you for it. If I didn't have it, it wouldn't have killed me. I wanted this, this, and that. So that's, but anywho, Walls, you could clarify or whatever.
Nah, it just seems like nowadays, whatever, women seem to like not have the happy medium, so to speak. Whereas it's either, hey, I make this
Women,
money, yeah, I
okay.
make this money or
Not
whatever.
all,
I
not
have my
all, not
degree and
all.
stuff like that.
Thank
Not all,
you.
yeah, not all, but it seemed like women have this idea of, hey, since I make all this money or whatever, stuff like that or whatever, that's what I bring to the table and everything like that. But for men, like, don't get me wrong, for men, yeah, we're happy you may have your degree and bring money to the table or whatever, but not in all cases. In some cases, you got women who don't even want, like, yeah, I make my money, but I don't want to pay for most of the bills, so to speak. So it's like, at the end of the day, if you don't want to pay most of the bills and you want to do it on my expense, then what does it matter about your career and stuff that you're bringing to the table? Now, don't get me
Oh,
wrong,
I
you
get
do
it.
get some guys that do want a woman to do her thing, whatever. But it's like, when you ask, what do you bring to the table? It's like, these women who are career driven will put that in the forefront of what they do, whatever, and mention nothing about, all the other things the person want as far as being supportive and stuff. So it's like, there's never a happy medium. So if you're only presenting, hey, I'm career driven, I make money and stuff like that, then of course people are just, the guy's going to be like, oh, that's not bringing nothing. Just like if you bring to the forefront saying, hey, I'm submissive, I'm masculine, whatever, yada yada, but you're not really doing anything, whatever, then it's like, okay, yeah, but what else? It's like, there's no medium. Yeah, we want you to, you don't gotta be like a PhD or nothing like that. You can just be working a decent job, but you're also submissive and all of that stuff. I think men appreciate that more because it's the happy medium of the two. So
I
that's what
understand.
I think that's what like most men want. Now, granted, you got some men who they want a career driven woman, or they want a woman to just who do all those things and not do nothing for themselves or whatever. I see it as a dude that want control of the situation when I see
Yeah,
that.
that's what it
But
looked like.
yeah, but most dudes want that happy medium, so to speak. But when you just put your career and stuff to the forefront, it comes off like not like it comes off obnoxious, so to speak.
Especially if you're more educated than he is. Like you have
Yeah,
more accolades, it's gonna seem
yeah,
like, oh, I bring this. We didn't ask you for that. I have money from my family, let's say. So I like what you're saying. Tia got something to say.
yeah.
Really, JR? See, I liked you. Like, okay, but no, my thing is just, the same way you say that women need a happy medium. I think also that's where the communication comes into play because, like, for example, you could have a woman out here, her man say, you know what, like, I don't always want to. For example, I don't always want to do missionary. I want something different. And in her mind, it's okay, cool. Let me look at these videos. Let me get these toys. Let me get these, outfits. And in his mind, it's like, no, I just meant other positions. So I feel like I hear what you're saying, but I think, again, that's where the communication comes into play because that's where I think the disconnect is.
Mm,
And I also feel like, again, going back to the video, it's like you just put it all on a woman. But I'm like, what about also telling those men, be more transparent, communicate more? Like, and again, I'm not trying to say all men, But just because you two communicate often, or you think you communicate often, and your ladies know everything and everything's all good, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the majority. So you do have a lot of men out there who don't communicate their needs, or who will only tell a woman what she's not doing. But okay, what about what we do need to do, or what it is that we do that you like? That's all I'm saying.
With the communication, I'd just like to tell you, it's not that I think everybody think I'm a good communicator, because I've ran into situations with like family members where they may think I'm a bad communicator because they speak passively, I'm direct. They want
Mm,
me, when I'm with them, I need to speak passively. I need
yeah.
to tiptoe around the subject. And for me, that's too much work. Direct talk would be easier. For them, you need to be able to say it this way because it's the way you said it. And it's like, if I don't have the right words to say and I think you need to hear it, you need to hear it. But people don't want to hear it that way. So I'm not trying to say I'm a great communicator. I just know I communicate exactly what I want, exactly what I expect, and that I want the female to express herself and not try to rely on me reading her mind. Because a lot of times it stay up here and it's like, I'll tell you later, or I have to think about it. No, if we're
Mhm.
supposed to be one, I don't tell myself I have to think about. No, I just know it. There's an issue. But with certain females, nah, they're not going to tell you. They need to go away, take
Hmm.
days, and it's like, come on, you're letting me sit here now. I'm mad, and it's just eating me up. And now I'm just thinking negative thoughts, opposed to we just spoke about it directly. So I know you're saying guys are bad communicators. I don't agree. I feel it's just a miscommunication where females wanted a certain way and guys wanted a certain way. It's not that neither one of us are right, but
Yeah.
indirect talk is harder to read than direct talk. If I say I want to try a different position, I didn't ask you to do all of that. I directly said I want to try a new position. You don't even have to learn anything. So it's just a miscommunication. That's all it is.
That's now
Great
for
point.
the people who don't know you, for the ones who you aren't in a relationship with, women in general, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you hear different things from men, but for women who are dating, or trying to find someone and put themselves out there, we feel, like the lady was saying, invalidated, and we're confused because we don't know, okay, what are we supposed to do, how are we supposed to dress, how are we supposed to act, how are we, you know what I mean, because of course the rules are different, like I remember a time when, and I know Kiki says she's probably older than me when I say this, but back in my day, it was like men were a lot more. How can I explain it? They were more so the ones who like to be, in control of things. So they made the first move. They were more likely to send a drink to a lady. They were more, you know what I'm saying? So this whole now new notion of, okay, now women have to put themselves out there and they have to take the first step, and they have, like all of this stuff is new. It's like the rules of dating have changed, and that's why a lot of women are like, you know what, like I have, for example, my mentee, her and I have these conversations often because she's like, you know what, I can't do it. It's exhausting. I don't know what it is that men want. I don't know what to do. I'd rather just stay at home in my little box and hopefully Amazon delivers a man to me. And it's like, and I try to tell her, like, no, you got to be positive. Even if it is COVID, you still got to put yourself out there. But, I get it. They're feeling like they don't know what to do. And that's
But
why the
see,
girl, mhm.
I may send you a drink, and some women can take offense to that and throw it at me. Like, I didn't ask you to buy me a drink. So I hear what you're
And
saying, but
and
also it's harder for us to do the back in the day things because we're not allowed. Holding the door, I can get cussed out for holding the door for a woman. I just want you to know. Just
you
because I
may
held the
Now,
door for her.
granted, I haven't seen. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that, and again, it could just be me. But I've been in instances where it's like I wish somebody would, like, hello, you see me standing here. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
and
I get that. That's you, but we're
no,
talking
I
about
understand.
nowadays, man. Like women find a lot of stuff offensive, and a lot of women, not all, a lot of women move like dudes.
Mm.
Hmm.
You get what I'm
Like K.
saying? They
Saeed
move
said, me
like
too.
dudes. Yeah, they move like dudes. Like, and
Wow.
that's what it is or whatever. Yeah. Like I know for you, it's like, well, I don't see that, but yeah, ask the men who are, out there, looking and dating and stuff, they'll be like, yo, man, women act like dudes.
And it's not all of them. So you mean to
I
tell
know
me
it's not all.
because
I
it's
know
No.
it's not
okay,
all,
but
but
let
I'm
me finish. But because of those few that have been out there, you mean to tell me now you're just not going to do it for any of them?
well,
But
look
that's
at it
what
like
y'all
this,
doing
Tia.
too.
That's what women do. Women be like, oh, I'm gonna just get a dog and die alone because of a few guys that did XYZ. So I
Yes.
mean, that goes back and forth.
No, but that's not all. See, now you're using the Kevin Samuels
No,
term.
what I'm
That's
just
not what
saying,
all
I'm just
women
saying,
think.
I'm
That
not
that's
saying
not the way
I'm
that
not
women
saying
think.
all women think that way, just like I'm not saying that's how all men think or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is a lot of guys think that way because you just said it yourself. Why aren't dudes approaching women and stuff like that anymore? And I'm telling you why a lot of dudes don't approach women
Yeah, so
because of that experience.
yeah, but
Just
that
like
same logic can be applied then. So the same way
Yeah.
we can't get the dog and die alone because of a few bad experiences, men can't stop opening doors. They can't stop, like chivalry doesn't have to be dead because
a-
of the Me Too movement.
actually, even though you saying men are saying men aren't like other than like Kevin Samuel's platform,
Yeah.
I don't hear men like talking about, hey, she want a dog and die alone, whatever, so to speak. Like, okay, I'm gonna try and change that or whatever. I don't hear dudes going out their way saying like when it comes to the dating market and stuff,
Hmm.
I hear women are really unhappy, not the men. I don't hear men complaining as much as the women are as
Because
far
we
as like
outnumber you.
unhappiness.
Because we outnumber you. So you always will have options.
Yeah, but so what that's why I always say
Yeah, I do
if if
also.
if men have more options, then that leaves it to the women to try and like change their ways to try and do things where that like will make men be attracted to them, so to speak. Because what like I said, what I see nowadays is women are taking more advice from women. And it's crazy because it seems like women are taking more advice from their single and toxic friends than actually
Yes.
getting advice from women that are actually in happy and successful relationships and married. And then
Yes.
they turn around and wonder, yo, why can't I get a man? Look who you're taking advice from.
Yes.
Yeah, but that attests to the fact that not that many of us are getting married. So who are we going to ask? Think about it. If we're raising single parent homes, if we're around women who are single, because clearly that's who we're getting the advice from, who are we supposed to talk to that's
Oh,
married?
trust me, they get the advice of who to talk to, but then they call them pick me's. So they know who to talk to as far as getting advice, but
Good
now
point.
they labeled the people who are actually telling them to what to do. They're labeling them pick me's and like, oh, don't you I'm not doing that or whatever. So you know what it is, but you're choosing the people who are giving you toxic information to want to follow their leads.
No, I definitely understand. That's like the meme I had sent to you. I think it was like
Hmm.
this week about, now granted, this is an extreme example, but that's like the rapper Moneybagg Yo and his girlfriend Ari, where she gifted him land. I forgot how many acres. But keep in
Oh,
mind
okay.
they gift each other expensive gifts often. Like one gave one a Rolls Royce, the other like they do this often. That's why I said this is an extreme example. But women really picked at her from people on I don't know what show Garcelle Beauvais is on, but she was,
Hmm.
even talking about it and everything. And Ari made the comment, like, okay, but wait a minute. So when we gifted each other cars and bags and everything else, that was okay. But the moment I gift him something that can, lead to breaking generational curses, you know what I mean? Like, this is generational wealth. Now that's where the buck stops. Like, that makes no sense. And to me, my whole thing was I wasn't upset with Ari for gifting him that land. Now, granted, this is rich people examples, but I wasn't upset with her about it because I'm like, well, if you're in a relationship, because I have a similar view as Walls P. When you're in a relationship, to me, that's when you start to put your best foot forward and show this person like, I'm a wife when you met me. Not when you put a ring on it, not when, we go to the courthouse, whatever. That's not when I'm a wife. That's when you legally make me your wife. But if we're in a relationship, the point is this is who I am. We're trying to come together as one. And, hopefully when we, get the ring, we go down the aisle, that just solidifies it. But yeah, this is who I am and this is what I'm gonna show you. But there were a lot of people that were like, oh no, she shouldn't have done that. She's stupid, she's not married to him. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't see what the issue is. If this is how she's showing her man, and especially if it's reciprocated, like this is how she's showing him that I appreciate you, I love you for what you do, you're different from the last guy. I don't understand what that problem was. But so I understand what you're saying. There are a lot of women who do those things and they get labeled as pick me's.
Yeah.
But
Like
even when you look at like your Cardi B's and stuff, they may rap about certain things, but behind closed doors, they're cooking, cleaning,
Hmm.
washing the clothes. They're doing all of those things, and it's
and
like,
they say it too. They say like, "Yo, I don't live by what I say, whatever, stuff like that." Like they
yeah.
say that. So yeah.
Saeed, she's for the streets. She is.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, I guess that's gonna wrap up this live, man. We going on about 3 hours. Like
Oh, I told you this is gonna go over an hour.
yeah, it's going on about 3 hours, whatever.
3
Because we
hours.
started at 7, we started at about 7:15 or whatever. So yeah, it's almost going on 3 hours. So
Yeah, so that means you still owe me my Kevin Samuels video.
yeah, I know. We'll indulge in that
Yeah,
the
because I
next
was ready
live,
to lay the
definitely.
smack down on you.
Well, you was the way I see it, you probably would have been contradicting everything you said because you would have been defending men. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll save that for the next live and have that discussion. I appreciate everybody for being here with us. Definitely appreciate for sticking through for about 3 hours with us.
Yes, thanks for
JR,
rocking with
man,
us.
thank you for being on there, being on here with us. Definitely tell everybody your channel again so that they can subscribe and send it to me so I can definitely put it in the link. I mean, I can get access to it also, and I'll
Oh,
put it in the link in the description.
I want y'all to follow
Yeah.
both. Don't call it locker room talk and
Yeah.
better love and fitness for
Yes.
exercise and all that.
Yes. And Tia, you want to tell them your channel?
I don't have a channel.
Matter of opinion. Oh,
Oh.
man. Oh my gosh, man. She
So
just
you
dropped
had
the
to.
ball on there.
I
She
mean,
just
you had to tell me. I didn't know.
just
So
dropped
yes,
it.
my channel is Matter of Opinion.
We'll catch you guys on the next live. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us on a Saturday night. Definitely appreciate it. And definitely thank Lone Wolf for that call in and the new subscribe. And that's gonna do it for this live. Again, thank you, Junior. Thank you, Tia, for making this live be as great as it is. And we'll catch everybody on the next episode.
Appreciate it.
Peace, no doubt.
What time is it? I woke up, soaked from a bad dream. I've been sweating like crazy. Got up, skin stuck to the bed sheets. Open window for a cold breeze. I have nothing to eat in my kitchen. Old coffee and yesterday's pizza. Listen, I promised to clean my floor, but I have no interest to fulfill my chores today. As long as the sun is shining and the weather is showing its face, just like me, it's been hiding. People painting the world with its rays. So I skip on my obligations, like so many times before. Reach for the door out to reclaim my faith in the making. God, I am here for the day.